Don't settle, get Gettles. Your neighborhood Rice Accounting and Jackson Hewitt Tax Services. Sun Country Custom Woodworks, serving all of northern Arizona with commercial and residential custom cabinets. And Yavapai College. You can, we can, together. And now, your voice of Mingus Marauder Football, Jackie Bessler.
Welcome, Mingus Marauder fans, to Washington High School, home of the Rams. Jackie Bessler along with you on a breezy evening here in the Big Smoke here in Phoenix, Arizona, just off Glendale and 23rd Avenue out here. Another Copper Sky opponent here for the Mingus Marauders, who come into tonight's game 2-1 on the season. Nick Yatsinko's along with us, and our third Copper Sky team here in the first 4 games.
Yeah, and even with the breeze, Jackie, it's still going to be 89 degrees at kickoff tonight, so just a little bit more heat than the Marauders are used to.
Probably so. However, it was pretty close to that last week at Mingus, so it should work out pretty well. If you're coming down, the rain ends somewhere around the Prescott cutoff, and then it just gets breezy. So it's just a little bit windy out here tonight. We're going to see if that plays a role. I guarantee you the high grass on this natural grass field will play a role. This grass is at least 4 inches high. I stepped into it, lost my shoe.
Yeah, it was hard to trek through that down there. We got a chance to go meet some of the coaches and the referees before the game, and I got my workout in for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. High knees all night long is what it's going to be. We're going to come back here to Washington High School. We're going to meet the teams, recap last week's games, and match up these teams for tonight's 4A matchup. The Washington Rams hosting your Mingus Marauders here on the road. We'll be back after this.
Yavapai College has many degree and certificate programs to get you on track to a rewarding, well-paying career in a variety of industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, construction, elementary education, and art. Fall semester starts on August 15th, so there's still time to register. Visit us online today at yc.edu/admission to connect with your future career.
Choose the region's most comprehensive heart program. Choose care close to home. Choose world-class surgeons. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Choose precision. Choose innovation. Choose robotic-assisted knee and hip replacement. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
2 things we can count on every year.
A new set of tax rules and great weather here in Northern Arizona.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, locally owned and operated by Lewis Rice since 1997, is here for you all year long.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Office will help you in all of your taxing situations.
Electronic filing is always free with your tax preparation at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service.
Get more in return. Call 1-800-234-1040 for an office near you.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
Call Rick or Scott Stokes at Sun Country Custom Woodworks about cabinets for every purpose and every budget. Sun Country Custom Woodworks can custom build cabinets for your dream kitchen or bath, adding tremendous value to your home. Organize the garage and store stuff right with a call to Sun Country. And ask about money-saving options, including modular cabinet choices. You know, your cabinets may not be from this century. For ideas, start at suncountrywoodworks.com.
And welcome Welcome back to Washington High School, everybody. Jackie Bessler, Nick Yatsinko along with me, and the Washington Rams come into tonight 0-2 on the season. The Mingus Marauders 2-1 on the season with a big win over Independence, 47-16. However, you know, when you were in that game, it just didn't quite feel exactly the same way. Independence ended up 14 for 29, throwing the ball 111 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception for Niger Wright. And rushing, the team had 33 rushes for 154 yards. The Mingus Marauders, however, very efficient. Passing the ball, Dirkelek was 3 for 6, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The 2 touchdowns almost came back-to-back. On back-to-back drives. Rushing the ball, Mingus could run the ball pretty much anywhere they wanted to. 43 carries, 322 yards. 322 yards in the game, 156 from Arnado, and Dirkelek added another 86 yards, Senna 63. So Brulin only had 7 yards in that game. So interesting. It's kind of like one back performs one half and then on to another one. Big interception by Leckington in the game in the second half, which was all part of a 32-point fourth quarter, unanswered fourth quarter for the Mingus Marauders, which was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and it started with a huge touchdown pass to Contreras, right? The fourth quarter started, very first play, Marauders came out with the 4:48 chance going. It gave us goosebumps. I mean, really, Marauders started the fourth quarter down by 1 point to Independence, threw a touchdown pass that very first play of the fourth quarter and never looked back. They just poured it on top and ended up with a huge win. One of the best fourth quarters, Jackie, I've been able to witness in high school football.
Well, it was quicksand. It was quicksand for the Patriots because everything Mingus touched in the fourth quarter went their way. Interception return that came back within the 5. The Mingus Marauder defense was doing stellar, 3 and outs. Another long 40-yard touchdown pass again to Contreras a little bit later on in the fourth quarter, and then other rushing touchdowns. Dirkelek had a 28-yard rushing touchdown to go along with it, all in the fourth quarter, and everything went Mingus Marauder way, and 32 unanswered points gave the Mingus Marauders a 2-1 record going into the season so far, which is fantastic. Mingus trying to get to a 3-1 record. It's been a while since Mingus has started a season 3-1.
Yeah, and you know what? We're utilizing all of our weapons. I love it. The coaching staff this season has been on point with spreading the love around. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, we saw a lot of Mackay Arnuato last week. Not so much of Brulin. Brulin the week before. Not so much Mackay the week before. So that's awesome. And like, your defensive teams are going to scheme on that, right? They're going to watch game film, and they can only shut down so many weapons. Right. So the Marauders do such a good job of spreading that ball around, and it's going to continue the success this season.
Well, that's very true, because Brulin had a great game against Payson. Arnado did not. Right. And then vice versa. Camacho is back from his penance from the Payson game. Had to sit out the rest of the Payson game and then all of the Independence game. And so number 2 will be back on the field out here today. We also want to let you know that we have had a tremendous team effort before the game has even begun, as Gravala gives up his jersey to Jones, who forgot his jersey. So there will be no double deuce out there making tackles here today. It is not Gravala. He is on the sideline still injured, but that will Jones will be wearing number 3 here today.
Yeah, it's like Gravala looks a little bit too big out there. Now Ethan Jones will wear the number 3 tonight, and boy, I'm sure we're going to be calling his name and number all over the field.
Certainly so. Leads the team in tackles, and also turns around and plays tight end for the Mingus Marauders. A windy night here with the Washington Rams. When we come back, we're going to look at the Washington Rams. These two schools and these two squads very evenly matched, especially on paper, and the size of the schools and the fact that they have to grow all of their players, well, organically from their own communities. We'll return to Washington High School after this.
The right vehicles, the right people, the right price. Make Jones Ford of Verde Valley the right place to buy. Choose from our new in-stock Ford selection or custom order just the way you want it. Buy pre-owned with peace of mind with Jones Ford's lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Plus, drive a little, save a lot. Jones Ford is your tax advantage destination. So, for the right vehicles at the right price, make the right choice. Jones Ford Verde Valley, family owned and operated for over half a century. Just off I-17 in Camp Verde.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle. Get Gettles and go Marauders.
For 30 years, Roxu Screen Printers have provided Northern Arizona with clean, crisp, quality screen printing. They work with you to make the right choices in creating the right artwork and message to put forth your best image. Choose from brand name products and even fashion-forward designs, including caps, tees, sweatshirts, polos, and jackets. Make Roxu your choice for work and sports uniforms, workwear, resort wear, and more. Find out more at rokzootees.com. Roxu Screen Printers in Cottonwood, where clothing comes to rock.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Tandy, owners of Taylor Waste.
We're homegrown in the Verde Valley and nearly your last local choice.
We want to be your first choice for residential and small business garbage service.
Get a free month service when you make the switch to Taylor Waste.
And enjoy monthly service as low as $16 per month.
Visit TaylorWaste.com for more information.
Or to start service, call Taylor Waste at 649-2662.
Taylor Waste, service tailored to your needs.
People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the people place. Keeping that reputation is a priority in the community and with every customer that comes through the door. Larry Green Chevrolet, we're better and we'll prove it. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, you'll find our selection extensive and the sales team professional and courteous. Visit Larry Green Chevrolet just off Highway 260 next to Walmart or LarryGreenChevrolet.com.
And back here at Washington High School, Jackie Bessler, Nick Yatsinko along with me. And these two teams are so evenly matched. I think these teams should play all the time, every sport. And the reason being is, you know, Washington has to grow their talent and their athletes organically from just the neighborhoods around us, because they're blocked in by all these other schools that you know, draw students. So we're about the same size in total size. We're about the same in the fact that, you know, we can acquire X amount of athletes in every sport, period, end of story. And I think we should just play all the time. And sometimes one team or one school is going to just dominate and be better than another, and sometimes Mingus hasn't had real good experiences down here, huh?
Right, you have your years, and that's it brings memories back for me playing on this Washington field. My senior year, we were 3-0. And Washington was 1-2 or 1-3. So on paper, we should have handled Washington, and Washington beat us by a touchdown. Beat us 42-35, and it was a heartbreaker. We had 3 losses on the season, and Washington was one of them. So you definitely can't sleep on a team like this. Just like Mingus, they have a few great athletes, and they are going to utilize them to the max.
Oh, that is without a doubt. There is going to be a battle out here tonight. I can certainly imagine that. Now, the first game Washington had was against Borgade Catholic, and Borgade took it to them 42-2. They gave up, the Washington Rams had 34 passing yards, only 63 yards on the ground in that game. Gave up to Borgade 224 passing yards and another 163 yards on the ground. Borgade could pretty much do whatever they wanted, and Washington only ended up with a safety in that game.
Well, and that's very, very few points. You know that offense is going to come out hungry against Mingus tonight.
Well, certainly so, but the important part was Borgade was like in mid-season stride.
And that's right. That was their 4th game to Washington's 2nd game. So you already got your penalties down, right? You've already built some chemistry on the offensive front and the backfield of your secondary. So, yeah, it plays a huge role. And tonight, even just the 1-game advantage that Mingus has, because this is Mingus's 4th game compared to Washington's 3rd. So that'll still give Mingus a little bit of an edge.
Oh, certainly so. Now, last week, Washington matched up with Moon Valley. The Rockets took it to the Rams 50-12. Washington ended up with 60 passing yards. Say Kuhn was the quarterback on that one. 107 yards on the ground against Moon Valley. Much better. They gave up 271 yards on the ground. Mingus is a running team, so that does not bode well for the Washington Rams. But they only gave up 54 54 yards in the air. Very efficient, though. 3 for 4, 54 yards and 1 touchdown. That's pretty impressive there for Moon Valley. But, of course, they also had a rather sizable lead. So they didn't have to throw the ball a lot. They could just run the ball and kind of run out the clock, if you will. However, Washington 0-2. They've only got 14 points scored on the season. However, we are going to see a dual threat here again. Seisei Kuhn is going to run the ball. He's also going to throw the ball.
Yep, and Seisei Kuhn on the season, throwing the ball, Jackie, not so much. 5 completions on 14 attempts for 60 yards. Quarterback ratings just about 44. He does run the ball, though, so that's a great point you bring up about dual threat. The Marauders are going to have to watch that. I feel like each week the Marauders have that dual threat quarterback that they need to keep an eye on. So you'll see our middle linebackers playing some QB spy for sure, because on the ground for the season, Kuhn has 78 yards. So he's leading the Rams on the ground as well. So that's your quarterback slash running back. So it's going to be big for the Rams, I'm sure. Right behind Kuhn, rushing the ball is going to be the senior Belez. So the Marauders have got a key in on both those guys, right? You would imagine we'll see Belez in the backfield, or
actually Belez is out injured.
Okay, so the Marauders, that's going to bode well for Mingus. Who knows which one they're going to be targeting tonight then.
I think it's going to be Reese.
Reese, a junior for Washington. So Marauders will have their hands full, especially with the quarterback who can take off.
Certainly so. And so, with that said, Julio Balaz, I was talking with Coach Mayfield here from the Washington Rams, and he said he got injured and had 14 days that he had to sit out, and 14 days is tomorrow. So he can't play here today. So they are without a backup quarterback, and Seisei Kuhn is going to turn around and play cornerback here today as well. So that is going to be interesting to see how that works out for the Washington Rams here this evening against the Mingus Marauders. Washington was 3-7 in 2021, 0-2 against Grand Canyon region teams that year, though. 6-2 in 2020 and 4-6 in 2019. We're going to take a break. When we come back here, we're going to take a look at the keys to the game. We're going to meet our Empire crew, and I do mean Empire crew because there's 7 of them out here today. It's like a playoff game. It's really cool, and we will return to Washington High School after this.
Choose the region's most comprehensive heart program. Choose care close to home. Choose world-class surgeons. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Choose precision. Choose innovation. Choose robotic-assisted knee and hip replacement. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Yavapai College has many degree and certificate programs to get you on track to a rewarding, well-paying career in a variety of industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, construction, elementary education, and art. Fall semester starts on August 15th, so there's still time to register. Visit us online today at yc.edu/admission to connect with your future career.
The right vehicles, the right people, the right price. Make Jones Ford of Verde Valley the right place to buy. Choose from our new in-stock Ford selection or custom order just the way you want it. Buy pre-owned with peace of mind with Jones Ford's lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Plus, drive a little, save a lot. Jones Ford is your tax advantage destination. So, for the right vehicles at the right price, make the right choice. Jones Ford Verde Valley, family owned and operated for over half a century. Just off I-17 in Camp Verde.
And back here at Washington High School, the Washington band making their way to the field, and they are going to grace us with the national anthem here in just a little bit. Let's take a look at Mingus's schedule. Now, Maryvale did not play last week. They are at 2-1 Yunker coming up here tonight. Payson shut out Tempe 28-0. They'll be on the road at 4-1 Valley Christian. The Independent Patriots lost to Mingus 47-16 last week. They got a bye week. They go into a bye week to try to figure that one out. Washington gave up 50 to Moon Valley last week, and they host your Marauders here tonight. Deer Valley lost to undefeated Marcos Deniza 63-6. Woo! Now they'll have home field advantage against 1-1 Empire here. Bradshaw lost to Buckeye, and we found out what elite means in 4A. Buckeye is definitely elite. 34-22, they downed the Bradshaw Bears. They were down 21-7 at halftime, looking to bounce back at 1-2 Combs here tonight. Coconino got tipped by 3-0 Arcadia by a score of 27-21, and they will host 2-1 Poston Butte here tonight. Flagstaff gets their first win against Rio Rico. They'll face off against 3-0 Marcos Deniza here tonight, and they will be on the road for that one. And Lee Williams defeated Estrella Foothills. They'll be on the road to winless North Canyon, which is a 5A squad. And Prescott didn't play, but they will host 1-2 ALA Gilbert North coming up tonight. And we're going to get our national anthem here in just a moment. There's some other Northern Arizona teams that are doing fantastic as well.
Yeah, and we got Williams, who's sitting 4-0 on the season in the 1A division. Camp Verde in the 2A division is also 4-0, Jackie. So for the Camp Verde Cowboys, their marquee win so far is going to be Scottsdale Prep, who was 4-1, and they took care of business against Scottsdale Prep. That was their second game, and they won 48-34. So that's a great win, especially if you're making a push for playoffs and that long championship game that's at the end of the season for the Cowboys. And Williams also has some big wins. 64-6 against Desert Heights Prep, and 60-0 against Salome, and then a tight one against a good Baghdad team, 26-20.
Baghdad is always good in 1A, and Williams always struggles with them. But both Williams and Camp Verde, they're going to come down to the end of their season, and it's going to be important games. Let's take a break here and listen to our national anthem. All right, a round of applause for the Ram Band out there, Washington Rams, with the national anthem out there. And we want to take a look at tonight's referees, and we got a full crew. It feels like playoffs.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome, Jackie. We got a chance to meet them before the game. So wearing our white hat tonight will be Mike Schmidt.
And I am told he did not play third base for the Phillies. However, he did play third base for his Honeywell softball team.
Gotta love it. He's getting out there, cranking the ball. So not the Mike Schmidt we all know of, but Mike Schmidt is going to be our white hat tonight. And our umpire will be Joe O'Hara. He's going to be followed by Lance Wilson. Head linesman will be Elijah Williams. Then we got Robbie LaFou, Dallas Farrell, and Richard Davis.
I want to thank Reese's Tire for sponsoring our Eye on the Game, and of course the referees are in a great demand. We thank them for their service and their time out here. Without them, we could not be playing a football game, and so many games have been rescheduled because of a lack of referees and crews. So we want to thank Reese's Tire for sponsoring our referee crew here tonight. Look for discounts, coupons, and rebates on tires, wheels, and automotive services at Reese'sTire.com. Locally owned, Reese's Tire and Automotive Tire Pros won't be beat. You can ask about 6 months, same as cash, no interest financing options, and even no credit financing options. Go to Reese'sTire.com for details. And, of course, we're going to have our coin toss coming up here in just a moment. The Mingus Marauders back out on the field wearing their white on white here today, and the Rams in the purple tops and the white bottoms with the all-white helmets.
Yeah, I love it. And the captains for the Marauders tonight, I see Leckington out there, Senna, I see Dixon out there, and Hernandez. Hernandez, one of our pulling guards who's done just an outstanding job all season long so far. Only a few games in, does a great job of pulling and giving Dirkelek some time in the backfield. And we've seen Dixon utilized on the offense and defensive side of the ball. Same with Senna. It was nice to see Senna get in and play a little bit of running back too. We've seen him at the cornerback, a little bit of safety. We move him all over the place. And then Leckington with a interception last week. Leckington finds himself in the comfort zone on defense. These cornerbacks for the Marauders, adding Camacho back in there. These guys have done such a heck of a job all season long.
Take a look at the Washington Rams. That's going to be Josue Pacheco for one of the captains out there, as long as number 67, Gabriel Salazar. And number, 72 out there is going to be Dylan Towler. And 87 at the bottom of the roster, Jabari Langford, who will be the starting tight end and middle linebacker here tonight for the Washington Rams. I thank our sponsor, State Farm, Jennifer Griffith, who sponsors our coin toss out here today. Go Marauders, go. Jennifer Griffin, State Farm Insurance, has been in the same location for over 35 years. You can stop in and see Jennifer for all of your insurance and financial needs. That's at 545 South Main Street in Cottonwood, directly across from Walgreens. You can check them out at jenismysfagent.com. Jen is my State Farm. That's sfagent.com, or call 634-7680.
How exciting, Jackie. Coin toss. Marauders ready to get out there. Rams doing the same. This is a big game. We're only 4 games in for the Marauders, 3 games for the Rams. So the Marauders have a little bit of an edge playing a couple more games. You'd like to see, I know we talked a little bit in the pregame and before we even came up in the booth about penalties. I'd like to see that cleaned up a bit. We seem to have quarters where we just continuously get the flag thrown on us. So hopefully the Marauders have that all aligned as they will receive the ball tonight. Washington will start this game kicking off.
Well, the Mingus Marauders got Contreras back, and we'll see who is back along with them. And trying to see if that is
maybe Bruland.
That is probably Bruland back there with him for the Mingus Marauders, and we'll get through our starting offense for Mingus here in just a little bit after we take care of our kickoff. Rams ready to kick off. Going from right to left across your radio dial and across your television screen. There is the kick. It's going to be short. It's going to come down to the short man at the 20-yard line. Past the 30, it's going to be Arnaudo. Arnaudo keeps driving his legs and will keep going just forward a little bit and give him out to about the 32. And Arnaudo gets about a 12-yard return for the Mingus Marauders, and that's where we will start. Mingus Marauders offense out here today. We got quarterback Brayson Dirkelek. Arnaudo will be the fullback. The wings will be Bruland and Xavier Machado. On the line for the Mingus Marauders, tight end Ethan Jones wearing number 3 out there today. Isaiah Lathan and Nicholas Choate will be the tackles. Guards will be Wallowitz and Hernandez. Our center, Clay Bowers, and our receiver, Ian Contreras on the far side. Wing set up. Spread out wing, and there is the handoff. It comes to Bruland. Bruland cuts to the outside and trips over the 4-inch grass out there and only gets about 1 or 2, and he is not happy about it, but I think he got his cleats caught up in that tall grass.
You're not kidding, Jackie. That's exactly what happened there. Bruland really wants that one back. He had nobody. He had a pulling guard in front of him. Hernandez out there doing a good job. Same with Wallowitz, and Bruland just goes down from the grass, which we talked about in the pregame, is high knees. High knees will get it there.
Yeah, it's going to be a ghost tackle. Contreras comes to the short side of the field. Still a spread formation. They're going to give it to Bruland, going the other direction, follows his blocks, and gets across the 40 out to about the 42. Close to a first down. He's going to be short by 1 or 2.
Yeah, and of course you see our big guy up there, Isaiah Lathan. Great job opening that hole. Nick Choate, Clay Bowers, Wallowitz, Hernandez. These guys have done such a good job all season long. Marauders averaging 33 points a game. I mean, that does not happen without a great offensive line.
Third and short for the Mingus Marauders at the 41-yard line. There's the snap, and the ball is on the turf. And Dirkelek has just got to cover it, and that's going to cause a fourth down. We have seen too many of those incorrect snaps, or shall we just say miscommunications from Bowers to Dirkelek, and that's going to be fourth and a long 3 out there for the Marauders, maybe even 4. The ball's at the 39-yard line now. Do you turn around and punt at this point?
Yeah, I think you punt it away, play it safe, right? Your one successful running play that you actually executed was it was about 9 yards. So play it safe, punt it away, which it looks like Marauders are doing.
Dirkelek is back to punt for Mingus. There it is, low snap, and he gets it off. It's a line drive, covered and picked up, coming to the near side at about the 40, cuts back in, and then gets gang tackled. Looks like Glassman gets a piece of him. However, Washington's going to start with fantastic field position at about their own 43-yard line.
Yeah, that's a nice job by the Washington return team. Not the biggest boot from Dirkelek. We've seen many better punts already. You can see your replay here. He does a good job of just fielding that ball. He drops it at first, and that's going to be Dominic Bradley with the return.
All right, after this play, we'll get to the starting Mingus Marauder defense. The men in purple, the Washington Rams, come out. They'll have a balanced formation spread. 2 receivers top side, 2 receivers bottom side. 1 running back in the backfield with Say Kuhn, who gets the snap and hands it off in the backfield. Number 4 getting around the corner. Good gain, maybe about 5 or 6 as they go for the sweep, and good speed out there. Number 4 is going to be Robert Junial, and didn't expect him to be in the backfield.
No, and that was a direct snap too. That's awesome to see. Say it made it look like he was going to get the shotgun snap, and then went right to Robert.
So he'll pick up 5. They'll give him 5 on it, going to the far side of the field, and it'll be 2nd and 5. Precariously close to midfield are the Washington Rams. Bunch formation, 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Quarterback takes the snap. It's going to be a pitch to the near side, trying to get to the corner and getting pushed out of bounds. And it's going to be Camacho coming to push him out of bounds, but not before he gets a first down for the Washington Rams in Mingus Marauder territory down to the 44.
Yeah, and we'll see. That flag was thrown right in the vicinity holding there.
And it is right about a yard behind, or a yard in front of the line of scrimmage at the 49-yard line. And that is going to delete a great run back by Junial.
I'll take the opportunity here to give Marauders defensive recognition on that defensive line. Isaiah Latham, Nicholas Choate, Jahir Hernandez, Curtis Glassman, our linebackers spying on Say tonight, Ian Contreras, Ethan Jones. And in that secondary that's played so well, you got Camacho, Bleckington, Senna, and Arnuato.
So Hoon's in the backfield. Junial's along with them, 2 receivers both sides. And Washington showing some really decent speed out here today. Kuhn looking to take the shotgun snap. He does, and he's going to run it himself. He tries to get around Glassman, and Glassman helicopter tackles him in the backfield for a sack, and that's going to be a loss of about 3, and take the ball back to the 35-yard line. That's going to make it 3rd and about 18.
Yeah, really nice job by Curtis Glassman to make the play there, because if he can get around, Curtis, that's Say that is, he had the edge. So that's a nice job by Curtis just to hang on to the jersey and get him down.
So the penalty put Washington behind the sticks after they had picked up a first down and had shown some momentum here. Now they need a big play to overcome here with 3rd and 18. Kuhn in the backfield. He's got Junior along with him, and the snap hits the ground. It's still on the ground, and it looks like, I think Mingus had recovered for a moment, and they're going to give it 4th down back to the Washington Rams. Junior comes up with it, but that snap just got fumbled by the quarterback. Now it is 4th and, well, too many for me to count. The ball, line of scrimmage is at the 24-yard line. They need to get up to the, oh goodness, the 47 of the Mingus Marauders. I'm going to dare say it's going to be a punt.
Yeah, right, and it starts with the penalties, Jackie. And this is only their 3rd game. So they're still cleaning it up as well, but yeah, penalties will do that to you.
So Mingus has got somebody back at the 40-yard line. The snap is fumbled and then tackled in the backfield out there. The Mingus Marauders jump all over it, and hopefully you saw who made the tackle. And on the punt, Mingus is going to have phenomenal field position here.
Yeah,
you can take a look at it again, and it's going to be Latham.
Big guy getting in the backfield on special teams. What a great job. And there you go for all you young defensive linemen out there. Just keep going. It looked like maybe the punter was going to pick it up, try to run, and Latham saw that chance and buried him.
Well, Mingus starts at the 10-yard line of the Washington Rams, so you can hardly get better field position. And there's the snap. It's coming to the near side. Brulin follows his blocks and then gets caught from behind, but he'll get nearly half of it as he'll get down to about the 6-yard line. No, they're going to place him right outside the 5, so give him 5 on the carry.
And Say Kuhn on the tackle there, so the Rams quarterback doing some defensive work out here as well, showcasing his athleticism. You're right, Jackie. I mean, Marauders so close right here. You got to be able to punch this in and get some points.
And here we go. Looking for the snap. There's the snap. Brulin takes it, follows his blocks, left side, gets inside the 5, down to maybe the 4 or the 3. Give him a couple more for our truck. Zach, heads up. We need to be on KYBC. We have no audio on KYBC.
And you see Makai Arnuato leading the way there. And Brulin behind him just kind of lets Makai get too far in front of him, and the defender squeaks right through.
3rd and goal now. Obviously 4-down territory for the Mingus Marauders. There's the snap, and it's going to go Brulin. Brulin trying to follow his blocks near side. Gets the corner and a touchdown.
I did see a flag on the play, too.
And it's going to hit the scoreboard here with 5:52 left to go. Brulin will score first for the Mingus Marauders. He gets the first 5 carries for the Mingus Marauders. Oh, there is a flag on the play. And that will come back. And so both teams have somehow sat on the self-destruct button here today.
Yep, holding penalties will do that to you. And Marauders, it's a touchdown play getting called back. Got to be careful tugging on the jersey.
Well, we were told by this crew that with 7 of them out there, they were going to see everything. I think that was the comment they were going to make. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to keep it. Durkalek outruns his blockers, trying to get to the corner, gets tripped up, gets to the end zone, and touchdown. So just like that, Brulin makes up for it from the 14-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 14, and Brulin keeps it himself, goes to the top side, and scores.
And it's not without the comfort of his pulling guard. You hear Hernandez out there. Nice job by the big guy to get around the edge and give Durkalek nothing but green grass to look at.
And so now the touchdown hits the scoreboard here with 5:44 left to go. Hernandez is going to line up to take the extra point. There's the snap. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Mingus on top. 5:44 left to go. First quarter. Mingus leads 7-0. We're back after this.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today. All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood.
Back here at Washington High School. And the Mingus Marauders looking to kick off once again. It was nice to see Stokes come up as the sophomore last week to help the Mingus Marauders out on kicking duties, and even got a chance to do an extra point late in the game, which was really nice for him to do. So Stokes got some playing time, and back down he went where he's going to get more playing time. Camacho retakes the duties with kickoff, and he's going to kick this one off. It is deep, and it will be taken inside the 10 at about the 6. Brought out by Washington, who Janelle is able to get across the 25-yard line. Hopefully I got his name correctly there. Juniel, there we go. Juniel is able to get across the 25-yard line. Pretty decent return.
Yeah, it sure is, especially since he caught that ball at about the 3 or 4 yard line. Nice kick by Camacho there. Love to see the special teams.
Well, the first series here was originally destroyed by a holding call, and then Washington kind of self-destructed after that, and then the block punt set the Mingus Marauders up at the Washington 10-yard line, and ended up in a 14-yard score, which meant that, yep, Mingus got penalized down in the red zone as well. Spread formation once again. Coons looking to take the snap. Juniel's in the backfield with him. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Mingus spreads out the defense with them. They're going to hand it off, and Choke gets into the backfield, and somehow Juniel gets away from him, and then Latham will cover it up and complete the tackle, but they're going to give him forward progress to the original, and it's still going to be a huge loss. Choke got in the backfield. Is the Mingus cannon here? Because I think he was shot out of it.
Yeah, for real, Jackie, and that's just a host of Marauders in the backfield. Yeah, I mean, Big Nick Choate showing some serious speed in the middle there, getting to the quarterback, and just a nice job by the Marauders to gang tackle. And boy, if it's going to be a battle of field position right now, the Marauders really leading that.
Well, the grass is always greener on the other side of the field. Is that correct?
And taller.
Yes, and taller indeed. 4-inch grass. I lost my shoe in it. Quarterback in shotgun, and we have a whistle blown, and we have it looks like a delay of game before we even start here. So it could be a delay of game, and it is going to be a delay of game. Second penalty against the Washington Rams. 2 penalties for 15 yards, but it took away their momentum and a first down in Mingus Marauder territory.
Ouch. Yeah, that one's going to hurt. If you're a Rams fan, that's my second and forever.
25. Second and 25 now.
And pinned back deep, too.
Inside their own red zone. The ball sits at approximately the 11-yard line. Quarterback takes the snap, looks to throw his first pass, throws over the middle, and nobody there.
Camacho playing that deep safety there for the Marauders. I think he was probably the closest one to it. Just a little bit of a miscue by the Washington quarterback, as, I mean, obviously, Jackie, you think they're going to put it up in the air in a situation where you need 25 yards.
Well, certainly, however, in high school, it's much easier to get the ball or get the yards on the ground than it is to get it through the air. 2 receivers each side. Now they're going to make it an empty backfield. So definitely showing pass out here are the Washington Rams at their own 11-yard line. 3rd and 25. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to run it. Comes to the near side, and Machado gets a hold of him, and he'll get the tackle. Decent gain out to the 20-yard line, which will still make it 4th down and a very long ways. Probably 4th and about 18. So Kuhn will pick up about 7. Not a bad run, but 4:02 left to go, and Mingus should get the ball back. Mingus, I can't say they blocked the last punt, because they didn't. They just tackled the punter after the bad snap, and this snap is over the top of his head, and he will be hit and covered in the Mingus Marauder. It's going to be a touchdown for the Marauders, and it looks like Lathan will get credit for the touchdown. The snap went over the punter's head off of his fingertips, and he was unable to come down on it for the safety in the end zone. Mingus came down on it in the end zone for the touchdown instead.
Yeah, real unfortunate for the Washington special teams crew right there, as Marauders capitalize as best as you can on a play like that and scored the touchdown. Big Isaiah Latham, you can see a replay there. Isaiah Latham, the one that jumps on it, and Makai Arnuado was the first one back there with the pressure.
Hernandez set up for the extra point. Durkalek with the hold. The kick is up. The kick is strong. The kick is good. And Mingus will take a 14-0 lead over the Washington Rams. 3:43 left to go, quarter number 1. We will return to Washington High School after this.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle. Get Gettles and go Marauders.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle...
All right, Mingus looking to kick off once again here. Camacho will get the kickoff.
And after Jackie, what's just a real rough start for the Washington, the Rams, Marauders able to capitalize, get a couple touchdowns, and find themselves in a 14-0 lead here in Washington High School.
Camacho with the kickoff, strong kickoff, and it is going to bounce, and then it'll roll toward the end zone, but not get into the end zone. It gets picked up near the end zone at about the 2-yard line, coming to the near sideline, finding some room to run, and out to about the 25. A good return out there. Looks like number 3 out there, Heaven Duran, with the return, and he picked that up dangerously. He expected it to go roll into the end zone, and it didn't.
Yeah, the senior does a nice job out there. That's a great return, especially considering he thought that was going to roll in the end zone for a touchback. That's a wonderful job of picking it up and going to the other side of the field and giving his Rams some a little bit of breathing room for the offense.
Mingus on top, 14-0. Zach, if you can turn down our headphones. 3:35 left to go here in quarter number 1.
Love to see it. You got the Marauders secondary, Camacho out there. So good to see him back. And Washington, see if they can't put together some sort of a drive here. It's going to be a botched snap. And Seisei's going to take it and get almost the first down. Let's see if they give it to him. Seisei does a great job of that snap, kind of came right up into his numbers in the shoulder pads. Not sure if it slipped right up his arms, but he's able to make something of it. We'll see where they spot him. They're going to give him, looks like about 7 yards on that. Marauders defense, like we talked about in the pregame, has got to watch the dual threat. Seisei is going to be the one that leads on the ground and in the air. Marauders line up with 4 defensive linemen. Glassman you see on our close edge. Nick Choate in the middle there. And Seisei is going to hand it off and go nowhere. Nice job by the Marauders defense. Keep him in the backfield, and that was going to be Heaven Duran. So after the kickoff return, Heaven Duran gets the handoff but goes nowhere.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 now for the Washington Rams. Approaching 3 minutes left to go here in quarter number 1. Rams trying to get their first down, had one. Came back on that penalty. In fact, they had one in Mingus Marauder territory and looked like they were starting to move the ball here and unable to keep it up. Quarterback under center. An offset eye in the backfield. There's the snap, and it's going to go to the second back. Duran will get it. Nope, I'm sorry. It's going to be Kuhn. Duran was the decoy, and he certainly fooled me on that one, as Kuhn will pick up the first down here on the near side. He needed 4 and picks up 5, and that'll be the first movement of the sticks here for the Rams.
Yeah, really, really nice play call there by the Rams. A little bit of deception there on the interior line, fake the handoff, and Seisei takes that right around the edge, picks up the first down. Rams are moving.
That was the first time we had seen an offset eye, and now we're going to go to an empty backfield. Bunch formation on the top, the far side of the field. There's the snap. Kuhn steps back, looks to throw, has pressure, hit as he gets rid of the ball, and I thought I saw a flag come out.
I thought I did too. And I think that was Ethan Jones on the close coverage. It was either Ethan or Machado. We'll see here on your replay. Really, really tight coverage.
And I'm wondering if they're going to get a pass interference on the near side of the field. That would be my guess. And that is going to be the call. Pass interference against the Mingus Marauders. That'll give them 10 yards and should be a first down, I assume.
And I think that was going to go on Machado there. You got to be real careful if you're a DB. You got to put those hands down as soon as the wide receiver's looking for that ball, even though it wasn't the most catchable, but Marauders guilty of it nonetheless.
Well, they were hand checking and hand fighting, and it just became wrestling is what it did. And that just isn't. they're gonna call you on that every single time,
especially with 7.
Especially
we talked about eyes everywhere.
Yeah, there are eyes in the sky and everywhere. I'm keep looking for the blimp somewhere. 2 receivers near side, 2 the top side as Kuhn is in the backfield. Puts his foot down, puts a man in motion. There is the snap. They're going to give it to Duran, and he is going to come to the near side, get some pretty decent blocking. Finally get tackled out there by Senna, but not before he'll pick up about 8.
Yeah, and that's going to be Junior on the end around there. That's a great pickup. You can see the replay here. Washington does a great job, man in motion. Gonna give it right to him. That's just an awesome play.
2nd and 2 as the Washington Rams wander their way into Mingus Marauder territory for the first time. 2:26 left to go in quarter number 1. Mingus on top 14-0. Near hash is where the ball is. 2 on the short side, 2 on the far side. Kuhn is going to move his running back out of the backfield into a receiver position. Take the snap, looks to throw, has pressure, throws to the near side. It is caught immediately. Tackled, but enough for a first down. First completion is going to be for 6 yards out there, and that's going to be to DK Gomez.
And the Rams finding some success on the edge against the Marauders and on that most recent play through the air. Jackie, and you got to be careful. We talked about it in the pregame. Say's a dual threat quarterback and finds his first completion of the night.
Well, that's the way to slow up a fast defense, is to get rid of the ball quickly, and that's what he has been doing. He's going to move his running back to the near side. Janelle will be now on Kuhn's left side. Spread formation once again. There's the snap. Oh, lost the snap. It's going to go way behind, and then he kicks it trying to get to it, and he's going to finally jump on it. However, that is going to be a huge miscue for the Washington Rams, who had driven the ball down to the Mingus Marauder 40-yard line and are going to lose huge amounts of real estate out here. Holy cow.
Yeah, tough break for Kuhn and the Rams, and he's real fortunate that he was able to get that one back, as the Marauders just kind of stumbled over that ball, not able to recover it, and Washington just has another long way to go for a first down, and they just continue to kind of shoot themselves in the foot here.
Officially 2nd and 31, and the visit to the Mingus Marauder territory or side of the field was short. The Washington Rams now stuck inside of their own 35-yard line. There's the snap. Good snap. Quarterback looks to throw. He will try to run up the middle and will get tackled. That was good defense. That was holding your gap and keeping your coverage. Coming off and sliding off of his block, I think it was Latham. Wasn't that Latham that got that?
Glassman,
okay.
Sneaking in there. You're right, Jackie. Just such a good job by Glassman to just get low and be an athlete in there and get to the quarterback.
3rd and 31, 3rd and a third of the field for the Washington Rams. 2 receivers top, 2 receivers bottom. 1 back in the backfield. Now 17-16 seconds. Wonder whether or not Washington is going to be perfectly content switching sides. Empty backfield now. This will certainly be the last play. They send Duran to the opposite side. 2 seconds, and now we're going to get a stoppage of play with 1 second left.
Delay game.
And it's going to be a timeout for the Washington Rams. How about that? We're going to keep it here because we're 1 second away from the end of the quarter. And so obviously at the beginning of the game, we were down on the field and had a great conversation with head coach out there, Mayfield, and he was talking about trying to get the chemistry for this team back together here, and they just haven't found the groove. He's got fantastic athletes out on the field, and they haven't been able to figure out how to get everybody to play together in the right sequence. We've seen very costly penalties. We've seen snaps that have gone bad and have cost points for this Washington Rams team. Not only that, but we've seen a pass over the course of the middle of the field. No jerseys, no appropriate colored jerseys in the vicinity. So obviously that's a communication issue. So this team has got to figure out, they've just got to be able to put the pieces together.
Yep, and only the third game here too.
That's
another
true.
Good point is they will build that chemistry, and only the third game here for Washington.
So now they'll get to take their time on the snap. Bunch formation top, empty backfield. Kuhn takes the snap, had to reach up for the snap once again, gets pressured, and Glassman will throw him down. And that will end up being a sack to end of the quarter here as Glassman does another helicopter tackle and another huge loss of about 8 yards out there, maybe 9 for the Marauders. Well, we're going to take a break here, and we'll get to quarter number 2 coming up from Washington High School. Mingus leads 14-0. We're back after this.
For 30 years, Roxu screen printers have provided Northern Arizona with clean, crisp, quality screen printing. They work with you to make the right choices in creating the right artwork and message to put forth your best image. Choose from brand name products and even fashion-forward designs, including caps, tees, sweatshirts, polos, and jackets. Make Roxu your choice for work and sports uniforms, workwear, resort wear, and more. Find out more at rokzootees.com. Roxu screen printers in Cottonwood, where clothing comes to rock.
People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the people place. Keeping that reputation is a priority in the community and with every customer that comes through the door. Larry Green Chevrolet, we're better and we'll prove it. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, you'll find our selection extensive and the sales team professional and courteous. Visit Larry Green Chevrolet just off Highway 260 next to Walmart or LarryGreenChevrolet.com.
Welcome back to Washington High School, and the Washington Rams, who have had trouble punting the ball, will be back to punt once again. It is legitimately 4th and half of a field, 4th and 50, as the Mingus Marauders have a return man sitting at the 45-yard line, and we have an illegal motion now against the Rams, which is going to back the ball up another 5 yards. And now make it 4th and 55.
Ouch. Ouch.
All right, let's just hope the Washington Rams can get a clean punt off. There is the snap, and they do get the punt off. It is returnable by the Mingus Marauders, and it is going to be Camacho with the ball going to the right-hand side, trying to get around the corner. He will have phenomenal field position for the Mingus Marauders just outside the red zone. How about that at about the 20-yard line, 23-yard line for the Mingus Marauders?
And it looks like a flag came in late there. I'm almost certain that's going to be a late hit out of bounds, and that's really going to hurt Washington, especially in this battle of field position here.
That'll put, if that be the call, that will put the ball inside the red zone. That'll be the second time Mingus will start a drive inside the red zone. Mingus has 14 points, but not a lot of yardage so far. In fact, Mingus has no passing yards so far in the game and has 6 carries for 27 yards, and they have 14 points on the board.
Yeah, and that is going to move the Marauders deep into Rams territory. And for the Marauders, Dirkolek and this Marauders offense, the machine starting to gel really nicely, and they don't have much field to go to put more points on the board.
Yep, the late hit call is going to put the ball at the 10-yard line. Mingus will take over from there. Talk about short fields. And Mingus will hand the ball off. It's going to come up the middle. Arnado will just keep the legs rolling and driving, and we have got a touchdown as he goes 10 yards on first and a goal, and Arnado just drives his way into the wills his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So 11:40 left to go, quarter number 2. Mingus will take a 20-0 lead over the Washington Rams.
Yeah, and love to see your running back run with that much grit, right? Mackay just keeps his legs trucking, carries a couple Rams with him into the end zone. He was refusing to go down there until he found pay dirt, and he did.
All right, set up for the extra point once again is Hernandez. The good high snap, and it's going to be Durkalek trying to take it, cuts back under, trying to get his way toward almost to the end zone for the 2-point conversion, and it's going to be no good. But high snap did not, screwed up the timing, so he had to bring it down and try for the 2-point conversion. So 20-0 your score. We're back at Washington High School coming up after this.
The right vehicles, the right people, the right price. Make Jones Ford of Verde Valley the right place to buy. Choose from our new in-stock Ford selection or custom order just the way you want it. Buy pre-owned with peace of mind with Jones Ford's lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Plus, drive a little, save a lot. Jones Ford is your tax advantage destination. So, for the right vehicles at the right price, make the right choice. Jones Ford Verde Valley, family owned and operated for over half a century. Just off I-17 in Camp Verde. The right vehicles.
Back here at Washington High School, Camacho kick off again for the Mingus Marauders. Mingus will get the ball first here in the second half. And but we still got almost a full quarter left to go. 11:40 left to go in quarter number 2. Camacho put his last one down, bounced it about the 5 or 6 yard line, and Duran picked it up at the 1 because everybody thought it was going to go into the end zone, and it didn't. Camacho approaches. He'll kick it. It'll boot it. And it'll come back to Duran. Duran will take it about the 8 yard line. He'll try the near sideline and find some blocking. Finds a hole. And Camacho almost got a hold of him, and he drops the ball, picks it back up, and then has to dive down on it. And he'll get covered out there by the Mingus Marauders number 34. That'll be Anthony De La Torre. A lot of thrills out there. Holy cow, it's an entire adventure on the run back.
And Marauders catching their breath and wiping the sweat from their forehead, Jackie, because if Duran doesn't drop that ball, he might have been off to the races and gone.
We came to the near side and then completely cut back against the grain, which is typically not suggested in a run back situation. That's when you get walloped by somebody you don't see coming. But nonetheless, it'll be 1st and 10, decent field position at the 35 yard line. I'm not sure if Camacho actually poked the ball out from Duran, and then he had to stop his momentum and pick up the ball. But nonetheless, let's see what Washington can do. 11:27 left to go, down by 20, according to the Jones Ford scoreboard. And there is the snap. They're going to throw the screen near side. It's complete and then covered. Out comes a flag. It was well covered by Latham. Latham came all the way from his defensive end position out there. Number 32 making the reception out there for Washington.
Devontae Brown on the catch. And we'll see how that flag goes. That reception might not be for anything.
Well, it's not for anything where it is.
Ouch. And Washington penalized again, Jackie. They continue to find themselves stepping on their own toes, and Marauders really winning the field position battle here tonight, and it's showcasing on the scoreboard.
35 yards of penalties, 5 penalties against the Washington Rams, and they have been very, very untimely, and they find themselves behind the sticks once again. 1st and 20 now from their own 25 yard line. Mind you, Mingus has scored twice with 10-yard drives from the Washington 10-yard line. Bad snap, covered by Kuhn, picks it up, and then somehow avoids a tackle, comes out to the near side. He's going to make something good out of nothing, and then gets tackled hard on the near side. Leckington comes up, and I want to see who else was out there.
Ethan Jones helping on that. Yeah, nice job by the Marauders to rally. You see Glassman had a chance right at the end, but he closed in just too much, and Say showcasing what an athlete he is, able to avoid catastrophe there for all intents and purposes.
Unfortunately for the young man, he loses another 6 yards off of the bad snap, and he could have lost 14.
Right.
He got 8 of it back, but it's going to be, second and about 25, 26 yards out there as they are inside of their own 20-yard line at the 19-yard line. He's over center, takes the snap, looks to hand it off. It goes to Duran. Duran caught behind the line of scrimmage, breaking through with a absolute passion were the Mingus Marauders.
Yeah, and that's Latham. Love to see the big guy. I've been calling his name all season so far, and it's not going to stop. Big guy does such a good job of getting in the backfield fast, making a great tackle. Duran showed his speed. We talked about the kickoff returns, Jack. Where he's reversed field, and he's done that twice, showing how fast he really is. And Isaiah Latham, the big guy, able to track him down in the backfield.
3rd and 35 now. 2 negative plays in a row here by the Washington Rams, and they are at their own 10-yard line. And quarterback under center, he will take the snap. They will run it right up the middle and get a few positive yards, and Mingus will stop it there. It'll be 4th down, and unfortunately they're going to be punting pretty much from their own end zone once again. I'm looking at Kuhn coming off the field and seeing if Sese is actually limping, because that's going to be an important key. Their backup quarterback right now is injured and won't be back until tomorrow. We do have a Washington Ram down on the field, in the middle of the field. We're going to take a quick break. We'll return in 30 seconds. Mingus leading 20-0 over the Rams. We're back after this.
People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the people place. Keeping that reputation is a priority in the community and with every customer that comes through the door. Larry Green Chevrolet, we're better and we'll prove it. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, you'll find our selection extensive and the sales team professional and courteous. Visit Larry Green Chevrolet just off Highway 260 next to Walmart or LarryGreenChevrolet.com. People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the...
Back here at Washington High School, everybody still on a knee for the injured Ram out here. I still haven't gotten a number, and as soon as we get an opportunity to let you know who is in need of assistance out there, we will certainly do so. Looks like they might be getting him up, and they are. And that's going to be number 77 getting up, and he gets a nice hand out here from the local crowd. 72, I am sorry. That's Dylon Towler. And Dylon will be making his way off the field, one of the big guys in the trenches out there for Washington. And this Washington squad is not thick, just like Mingus is not thick.
Right.
And so, any loss is going to be huge here.
Yeah.
Setting up for the punt once again is Washington. This has not been their favorite thing of the night. They have had 2 bad snaps that have given Mingus really great field position. A bad snap once again, but they do get the punt off, and this one's not going to be returnable. And Mingus is going to have their worst field position of the game so far, as they're going to get the ball out to the Washington 37-yard line.
Yeah, crazy to say that, Jackie. You're so right. Marauders have another short field to go for that offense, and boy, Washington real fortunate that the Marauders didn't block that punt. They were really close there.
And that would have been blocked right there at the. I think the punter was actually sitting in the end zone at the time.
With potential for another score or right to be inside that 10-yard line.
Now,
again.
Latham did get the first defensive points for the Mingus Marauders this year with the covered bad snap in the end zone. So Mingus comes out in the wing. Durkalak sends Machado in motion, and they're going to hand it off, and we're going to stop play and get an illegal motion against the Mingus Marauders. And that will be the 3rd penalty against Mingus. And our referee crew said they were going to see everything out here today.
And they sure have.
Yes, they are.
They sure have. And boy, it's not gone the way for the Rams so far. And the Marauders finding themselves getting penalized here.
they've been able to Mingus has been able to overcome their own penalties, leading 20-0 here over the Washington Rams. Send Machado in formation once again. The quarterback's going to keep it, looking to throw. Durkalek's got to scramble, throws it up, has a man downfield, and he ends up throwing it out of bounds. Contreras catches it, but about 8 yards out of bounds. I think he was pretty much just throwing it away at that point.
Yeah, it's smart play by Durkalek. You don't need to force anything or throw it back to the middle of the field, especially when you're running towards the sideline. So the senior does a great job of just kind of throwing that up where only his guy can get it, but it's an incomplete because that's out of bounds. You can see the replay there. Durkalek just about to the sidelines. He launches that thing.
2nd and 15 for the Marauders. Tighter wing formation. One receiver to the near side. Dixon in motion. They're going to give it up the middle. It's going to be Arnado. Arnado finally gets tripped up, but he'll rumble and stumble for about 3, bringing up 3rd and about 12 for Mingus.
And that's a great tackle by Devontae Brown. Devontae says, Mackay, you're not going anywhere. And Washington with a great defensive play and lead the Marauders with a 3rd and long.
Ball sits inside the 40 at the 39-yard line, the Washington 39-yard line. Mingus has played the entire game so far on the Washington side of the field. Durkalek under center. Has 2 receivers, one to either side now. Takes the snap and is going to keep the ball. Come out. He's got a blocker in front of him. Throws the ball downfield and overthrows his potential receiver out there, Jones. Had him open behind the defense and unable to get to him. And it's going to bring a 4th down, a 4th and about 12 for the Mingus Marauders from the 39-yard line.
And you're going to see on the replay here, I can only empathize with Jahir Hernandez. He's the pull-in guard for Durkalek, and there's 3 Rams all running at Durkalek, so he doesn't know who to pick up. And Durkalek does a good job of just getting rid of that ball and just out of the hands of Jones.
My recommendation, take 1.
Yeah, right. I think he picked 0, but that was because Durkalek got rid of it. So
okay,
he got away with that one.
Well, not only that, but Durkalek actually outran his blocker.
Yeah.
So Mingus is going to go for it on 4th and 12. They're going to take the snap, and they're going to hand it off to Brulin. Brulin gets undercut after he gains about 4, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So the Washington Rams will take over at about their own 35-yard line with 7:46 left to go, and this will match their best field position here in the first half.
Yeah, and if you're the Washington offense, you've got to take that momentum your defense just gave you. Defense just had a great stop on 4th down against the Marauders, get you the ball back. So now if you're the Rams, you want to make this thing a close game, you're going to have to go down and score, and that is going to be tough, especially you're looking at the Marauders defense right there on your screen. And boy, they're ready. Glassman, Choate, you see Senna out there. These guys have been playing really, really well all season long, and they just continue to fine-tune.
Well, once you get a defensive score in a game, I think that changes the tone for a football squad. All of a sudden, it's blood in the water kind of a thing.
Right.
An offset I for the Washington Rams. No, now they're going to back off. No, it's going to be an offset I. 1 receiver to both sides, and there's the snap, and there's going to be the handoff. Coming to the near side is Duran. Duran will fight his way to the sideline and get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gain a little bit. We're going to see where he stepped out.
That's a lot of running for Duran. A lot of east and west running. And it looks like they're going to mark him right back at the line of scrimmage, so he's not going to get anything on that one.
Well, he's actually going to lose a yard. And the sweep that he was trying to get to just didn't have any real estate as he was running to the near side of the field, the short side of the field, and Mingus covered it well. Offset I once again, 7:39 left to go. The clock is stopped until we take the snap. There's the snap, and it's going to be a run up the middle, bursting through. And with a great game out there is going to be Juniel. Juniel will pick up the 2 that were lost, and he'll get about 8 on the play, making it 3rd and somewhat manageable. 3rd and about 3, but we've got another Washington Ram down on the field.
Yeah, hopefully he's going to be okay. And that, like you said, Jack, it is a great run by Junil, able to get up the middle, really just kind of burst through that line of scrimmage.
He ran through, looks like cramps. They're stretching him out. Looks like cramps out there. And not that cramps are fun, but if you're going to have an injury, cramps are the best one to have. You know what I mean?
Just get him some Gatorade, and he'll pop back up and be okay, hopefully.
I remember calling a game, and there just wasn't anything on the sideline, and somebody ran to KFC to go get salt packages to try to get some salt into the kids, see if they could stop getting cramped up.
Well, as a center, I would have requested one of the original bowls. And I'm sure my fellow linemen would agree with me. I would have loved a bucket of chicken. That would have helped.
We'll take 14 family packs and all the salt packages you got.
Yeah, right.
Oh my goodness, still waiting for him to get stretched out on the field out here. And hopefully that'll work out. Once we get back to it, it'll be a 3rd and a long 3, maybe 3rd and 4. 7:24 left to go. If you're just joining us, the Mingus Marauders are up 20-0. They scored on 2 10-yard drives, and those were after failed punt attempts, either bad snaps, and then scored on a bad snap that went into the end zone and then covered by Latham. So Mingus has had very little offense to get their 20 yards out, or their 20 points. In fact, they've got 9 carries, 45 yards, and 20 points to go along with it, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they haven't really been tested yet, and that's kind of scary, but also a sigh of relief for the Marauders, and good to see Junil pop back up. He's walking off under his own power.
Well, he darted through that hole and gave his team gave his squad an opportunity here. 3rd and a long 3 from their own 42-yard line.
All right, Washington has the ball.
So from the quarterback position, Kuhn is 1 for 2 throwing the ball. I got to imagine they're going to probably try to run the ball, but they're going to switch it up here. Now they're going to go into an I, send 2 receivers to the top side. Kuhn looking to take the snap. He waits, he takes the snap, and he will hand it off. Darting up the middle and close to first down territory. He might have gotten it on the 3rd effort out there. And it looks like they are going to give him the first down, and that's going to be Duran on the run.
Yeah, nice job by Duran. That's a tough first down to get, and the Rams get the job done. Get a first down. Latham with the tackle for the Marauders. Does a good job. There's a big hit out there, and Duran does a good job of getting the first down.
45-yard line of scrimmage for the men in purple. That would be the Washington Rams, trailing the Mingus Marauders 20-0.
Saw some shirts. It said the Purple Army.
Ah, better than the People Eaters.
Most certainly better than the People Eaters.
Yeah, that goes back to my generation. I'm sorry. I'm aging myself in the press box. There's the snap, and look at that. How about the quarterback keeper right behind the center? The center and Kuhn moved. Nobody else did. Thank goodness Choke got a hold of him, because holy cow, that was quick. Well, we're going to see if they're going to penalize them, whether or not that is going to be an illegal motion. I don't see why it would be, though.
I think that was a private conversation between your quarterback and your center, and they decided to take matters into their own hands.
And unfortunately, it appears as though they're going to get penalized for it.
I'm not sure what you call that.
It has to be an illegal motion, is what it has to be. And whether or not
they're going to bring it back.
They're going to redo it. Okay. So that became an official do-over. That didn't count because the referees, weren't ready, is what I'm going to chalk that one up to.
All right, we are going to have a do-over.
An official do-over. How about that? All right, so Heaven Duran will ditch out of the backfield and go line up as a slot receiver. Kuhn's got one man in the backfield, and he fakes it to him. Looks to throw. Backs up. Looking for somebody. Tries to get around the corner. He's got some room to run, and he will get out of bounds, and he'll pick up about 5 or 6. Had a man downfield, but once he crossed the line of scrimmage, there was no way he could throw the ball to him.
And there's a flag on the play, and that's in the vicinity of holding, and that's what it's going to be. Wow, Jackie, the Rams have just not had the penalties go their way tonight, and that one's going to back them up. Another good play by Say, able to scramble out. His offensive line gives him some time, makes a positive play, and it's coming back.
And it looks like it's going to be a hold 5 yards in the backfield, so it's going to be a 15-yard. It's going to effectively be a 15-yard penalty, bringing up a, oh my goodness, 1st and 25. Oh my gosh.
The Marauders defense, I mean, loving every minute of this, right? It's making their job easy. Those cornerbacks back there know where they got to go to get the first down, and it's still way behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. So when your safety is sitting at the original line of scrimmage, inside the original line of scrimmage and approaching the line, how about that? Quarterback under center takes the snap, and he will get it to the inside man, and he fumbles the ball once he's down. Jones gets the tackle, wearing number 3 out here today. It'll be behind the sticks, and it'll be another tackle for loss, as the new line of scrimmage is going to be in about the 27-yard line of the Washington Rams.
Ouch, and that's going to be a lot of work here for the Rams to continue this drive. The Marauders really doing a good job of pinching down and pinching that edge, not letting Say or Duran catch the edge, because those guys have already shown how fast they can be.
27 yards for first down.
All right, so 2nd and 27 according to the scoreboard. How about that? There's a snap, throw. Duran's got it on the far side, and he will go down immediately, and covered by Arnado, and Arnado just covered him up. I look like Duran slipped out in that tall grass.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. You never like to see wide receivers or anybody slip like that, and Mackay does a good job of making sure he goes down, but hopefully that young man's okay.
But it almost looked like he was trying to change directions.
Yep.
And in the process did so, and Arnado came down on him, so we're going to get a chance to see it once again. And yep, it looks like he was just kind of sitting in a weird position.
Yeah.
And then came down. I don't know if he popped a hip or something like that. I know that if I did that, I would pop a hip. But I'm not in the same good shape as these young players.
Roll you off the field. A couple guys to just roll you off the field. Hopefully Duran will be okay. And you called it, Jackie. I mean, that's just a great athlete trying to make a good cut, and it looks like he's trying to. The trainer's out there working on maybe his knee, giving him some pressure. So hopefully he's going to be okay. He's been a great athlete for Washington so far in this game with
incredible speed.
The few positive plays they've had, he's been key success for, and there you see him hop up. That's great to see.
So we got a chance to talk to Coach Montebias before the game, and we talked about bye weeks. And bye weeks can be good. Bye weeks can be bad. So bye weeks are absolutely fantastic if you're dinged up and you need to figure out how to get your act together here. However, they can be certainly very bad if you forget how to play football.
Yeah, when you come out and they're slipping. And you wonder if that high grass has anything to do with it too, Jack. We've seen a few guys slipping tonight. Bruland on the very first play for the Marauders just kind of fell down.
Yes, and he was not happy with it in any way, shape, or form. It is 3rd and long, about 19 to 29, somewhere in that general vicinity. There's the snap. Quarterback, high snap, and will hand it off. And Mingus says that they have the ball. I don't know if the ball was down on the ground.
Refs are signaling Marauders ball, and that's going to be a recovery. Looks like by Jones out there.
Yep, it looks like Jones did jump on it. How about that? So Mingus gets a fumble recovery off of a failed handoff, and Mingus is going to get a short field once again. And they're going to be at the 23-yard line and just outside the red zone once again. How about that?
Yeah, really good field position, and the Marauders winning that battle all night long. And really, we've seen the Rams just kind of step on their own toes. And you see Mackay gets the handoff and gets to the edge. What a great run.
Well, Mackay almost picks up the first down. He's going to be short. He'll be down to, if we go with the far marker at the 15.
Looks behind him, and Glassman was behind him, and he says, hey, where are you at? And Glassman's like, you're too fast. Too fast, slow down a minute. I'll get in front of you and block.
That's not the idea. Not the idea. Great run by Mackay. It's his third on the game so far. Man in motion, and they're going to keep it. Well, Durkalek is going to keep it and tries to regain his ability to get inside. Cuts back and gets to about the 10-yard line, so he picks up 6 and the first down. Just puts the brakes on and shimmies through a hole in the purple wall.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he got fairly lucky on that one because Washington does a good job of breaking down in the backfield. And Durkalek just squeaks right through and gets the first down, and it's almost first and goal.
Mingus can still get a first down. It is 1st and 10 from the 11. Jones and Machado on the right side. Quarterback looks to take the snap, and Machado is in motion, and it's going to go the other way. It's going to be run with the counter to Brulin. Brulin gets down somewhere close to the 5-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 3.
Yeah, what a nice job there. You see the replay there. You're fortunate enough to see the Marauders offensive line just does such a good job of getting that initial step forward and just moving the Rams backwards to give their running backs a chance and some open holes to run through.
2nd and 3 from about the 4-yard line for the Mingus Marauders. There's a snap. Quarterback hands it off. I thought he still had it. It was such a quick handoff up the middle to Arnado. And Arnado dives forward and gets, inside, stays inside the 5, down to about the 3. Let's see where they're going to place the ball. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. It's got to be from about the 2-yard line.
And on that previous snap, Jackie, we got to see the replay. It looked like Durkalek kind of juggled it a tiny bit. So that's why it looked like he was just standing there with it still.
Over center, there's the snap, and it's going to go to the second back. Brulin follows his man in for the touchdown as Arnado paves the way for the 4th touchdown for the Mingus Marauders, who, awaiting the extra point attempt, lead the Washington Rams 26-0 with 1:17 left to go in quarter number 2.
And I'll tell you, for an offensive line, an offensive unit entirely, it builds a lot of confidence to be able to continue to put points on the boards. And I know that they've had the best field position you could pretty much ask for as an offense, but at the end of the day, they're still executing and finding ways to get points on the board.
That is true. Extra point forthcoming. Good snap. Good hold. Kick looks strong. Kick looks straight. The kick is worth 1. And Mingus will take a lead 27-0. 1:17 left to go. Quarter number 2. We will return after this.
Choose the region's most comprehensive heart program. Choose care close to home. Choose world-class surgeons. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Choose precision. Choose innovation. Choose robotic-assisted knee and hip replacement. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Back here at Washington High School, and we have finally turned out the Arctic Great White North to the left of us here. I was actually starting to shiver.
I'll tell you, it's convenient here in Phoenix.
I don't have enough fur left to stay warm, honestly.
I got some for you.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Mingus with a 27-0 lead over Washington here as they will kick off once again. Camacho puts a boot into it, goes to the far side. It will be picked up, dropped, and then picked up again at about the 13-yard line. Run back through, and that has got a chance. And great job. Camacho will finally get the tackle out there, but it was Aiden Moody that slowed him up, but a great return. And it'll be the best field position of the night here for the Washington Rams. What a phenomenal return out there, and that's by Duran. Duran did not look like he was cramped up anymore.
No, seriously. What a burst up the middle, able to find the open seams and give his Rams offense a much better field position than they've had.
Hold.
Oh, ouch.
A hold, and they're going to bring back the run.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow.
They're going to mark the penalty at the 28-yard line, and they're going to mark off 10 yards from there for a hold. And unfortunately, put the Washington Rams behind the sticks again. Boy, this team gets no breaks, doesn't it?
No, and it seems like every time the Rams can find a positive play, it seems to be penalized out there. So another long field for Washington.
They're going to start at their own 17-yard line. They have 2 timeouts, but only 1:07 left to go on the clock, and takes away a fantastic return by Duran out there. I will say this, at least he didn't break it for the touchdown and then get it called back. That's heartbreaking.
That would have broken a lot of Rams' hearts.
Quarterback under center. He's got 2 backs in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to the second one, who goes up, forward, upended in the middle out there by the Mingus Marauders. And it's going to be positive yardage. The clock is running, though.
Looks like that was Orion Reese getting the call there. It's a
Reese
great run up the middle.
Gets his first yards of the game, 4 yards up the middle. Taking too long if they want to drive the field here, though. 40 seconds left to go. Rams finally come set, ready to run a play. There's the snap, and it will be run up the middle. I see Choate's got a hold of a purple jersey and drives him backward. It's going to be a gain of about 1.
Tell you, wouldn't want to be that purple jersey. Big Nick Choate. Call his name the last few games very heavily. Such a nice job in the interior of the defensive line for the Marauders.
10 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Let's see if the Rams get a play off. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They will get a play off. This will be the final play of the first half, and Choate drives it back into the backfield. They'll get about 1 on the play, and that's going to be it for half number 1. 0s on the clock and 0s on the scoreboard here for Washington. Mingus leading 27-0 on the road against their 3rd opponent from the Copper Sky Division. We will return for the Longfellow Excavating halftime report coming up after this.
Call Rick or Scott Stokes at Sun Country Custom Woodworks about cabinets for every purpose and every budget. Sun Country Custom Woodworks can custom build cabinets for your dream kitchen or bath, adding tremendous value to your home. Organize the garage and store stuff right with a call to Sun Country. And ask about money-saving options, including modular cabinet choices. You know, your cabinets may not be from this century. For ideas, start at suncountrywwoodworks.com.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle. Get Gettles and go Marauders.
2 things we can count on every year:
a new set of tax rules and great weather here in northern Arizona.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, locally owned and operated by Lewis Rice since 1997, is here for you all year long.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Office will help you in all of your taxing situations.
Electronic filing is always free with your tax preparation at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service.
Get more in return. Call 1-800-234-1040 for an office near you.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Tandy, owners of Taylor Waste.
We're homegrown in the Verde Valley and nearly your last local choice.
We want to be your first choice for residential and small business garbage service.
Get a free month service when you make the switch to Taylor Waste.
And enjoy monthly service as low as $16 per month.
Visit TaylorWaste.com for more information.
Or to start service, call Taylor Waste at 649-2662.
Taylor Waste, service tailored to your needs.
Back here at Washington High School, the Mingus Marauders, they're controlling their destiny out here with a 27-0 lead over the Washington Rams on the road. Mingus scores with 5:44 left to go in quarter number one, a 14-yard keeper after Mingus got the ball at the 10-yard line. It has been a story of short fields all game long here for the Mingus Marauders. Then with 3:43 left to go, a bad snap over the punter's head. He tries to cover it in the end zone for the safety, unable to do so. Latham covers it for the first defensive points for the Mingus Marauders and the touchdown. The extra points in the first and second drive for the Mingus Marauders, good, and good by Hernandez. Mingus led 14-0. 11:40 left to go, quarter number two, a 10-yard run by Arnaudo after Mingus gets field position at, guess what? 10-yard line once again. The extra point no good. Actually wasn't attempted because of the high snap as Dirkelek tried to get into in for the 2-point conversion. It was no good. Then with 1:17 left to go, a 2-yard drive by Brulin for the Mingus Marauders. The extra point good by Hernandez. Mingus leads here at halftime 27-0, and Mingus started that drive on the not the 10-yard line. It was about the 24-yard line. But nonetheless, Mingus has just had phenomenal field position all game long. That has been the story of the game here for the Mingus Marauders.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a field position battle won by the Marauders, and a lot of penalties that went Washington's way that helped in that battle for the Marauders, but nonetheless, Marauders able to find the end zone and execute when they need to. And like you called, Latham with the touchdown, or the recovery after the punt in the end zone. Love to see the big guys get some points. And that's the second big guy this season. Glassman, we've seen get in the end zone with a run in one of the first games. And now we see Latham with a defensive touchdown, in which you brought up a great point. Does so much for your defense. Really does. It gives you so much confidence. It makes you fly around even more, right? You put some points on the board, you're all of a sudden like, hey, all right, we can go score some points. And granted, that was an easy one for them to score. Latham just had to jump on it in the end zone, but that gives your cornerbacks a little bit of talking points in practice. Latham's like, hey, I got a touchdown. Where are you guys at?
Right, yeah, no kidding. Scores the first one, and of course, Glassman was on the offense as opposed to the defense, so nonetheless. Want to welcome you to the Mingus Halftime, brought to you by Longfellow Excavating. No job too big or too small. Longfellow Excavating does it all. Septic installation, drainage, grading, and so much more, including demoing single-wide trailers. You want to call Josh Longfellow, a former Mingus Marauder, the Wrecking Ball, for a free quote. 928-300-3792. That's 928-300-3792. We're going to take a break here from Washington High School. When we come back, we're going to get into individual stats coming up right after this.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
Choose the region's most comprehensive heart program. Choose care close to home. Choose world-class surgeons. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Choose precision. Choose innovation. Choose robotic-assisted knee and hip replacement. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
The right vehicles, the right people, the right price. Make Jones Ford of Verde Valley the right place to buy. Choose from our new in-stock Ford selection or custom order just the way you want it. Buy pre-owned with peace of mind with Jones Ford's lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Plus, drive a little, save a lot. Jones Ford is your tax advantage destination. So, for the right vehicles at the right price, make the right choice. Jones Ford Verde Valley, family owned and operated for over half a century. Just off I-17 in Camp Verde.
Two things we can count on every year.
A new set of tax rules and great weather here in northern Arizona.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, locally owned and operated by Lewis Rice since 1997, is here for you all year long.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Office will help you in all of your taxing situations.
Electronic filing is always free with your tax preparation at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service.
Get more in return. Call 1-800-234-1040 for an office near you.
As the Washington Rams band departs the field out here, the Mingus Marauders leading here at halftime 27-0 over the Washington Rams, and it has been a unique game. It's got to be a different game. It's been a game of field position for the Mingus Marauders. It has been ball possession for the Washington Rams. Now, if we go with the time of possession, Washington should be winning this game by about 14 points.
Right. It's, like we said in the break, weird is a way to describe it because, yeah, Washington's had the ball longer. Mingus only with 70 total yards, able to pull a 3-score lead on the Rams. So that really goes to show you how crucial the field position is.
70 yards total, and you did get that right. 70 yards total for the Mingus Marauders in the first half. 14 carries, no yards throwing the ball, and it is accounted for 27 points. They've got a defensive score by Lathan as he covered a high snap punt in the end, or snap into the end zone, right? And then we have had drives, 2 drives from the 10-yard line, a drive from the 24-yard line. That has been the Mingus Marauders scoring. Mingus has even punted once. They've had the ball 5 times in this game and have only run, let's see, 12, 11, 13 plays. 13 plays.
Incredible. We've seen special teams touchdown from the Marauders with, like we talked about in the last break, Latham jumping on the ball in the end zone to give the Marauders another score. And yeah, just a really, dare I say, cattywampus game going on right now, Jackie. The Marauders at the head of it. They're enjoying it right now. 27-0 lead at halftime. You'd imagine Washington is going to come out with a lot of adjustments, right? I mean, we've seen only a handful of plays from the Rams where Durand has showed off some speed, and Sese has found the edge, and both these players, and a few of them for the Rams, have some serious speed. The Marauders just doing a good job of containing them, not letting them break out and have these big plays. No big plays for the Rams, really. And then Washington, with their penalties, is really stepping on their own toes.
That is definitely true. Let's go through a few stats here. Berlin has 7 carries, 29 yards, and a touchdown. Arnado has 4 carries, 23 yards, and a touchdown. On the ground, let's see, we've got another 18 yards on the ground for Durkalek off of 3 carries. And that has been it for the Mingus Marauders, 70 yards on the ground. Durand ends up with 6 carries, negative 13 yards here in the first half. Sese Kuhn, well, he's got a lot of negative yards, and it's been bad snaps that have been over his head, and he's been chasing the ball behind him so many times trying to get something out of nothing. And unfortunately, I mean, at one particular point in this game, if you're just joining us, Washington literally had a 4th and 55. 4th and 55 yards left to go, and that was due to penalties and bad snaps, etc. Reese has got 3 carries for 6 yards going forward, and Junio ends up with 5 carries and 34 yards, so those have been the bright spots. Kuhn is 2 for 3 throwing the ball for 9 yards. The penalties that you made mention, Washington ends up with 6 penalties, 60 yards here just in the first half. So they're on pace to 120 yards of penalties in this game. on top of the miscues and the bad snaps. They have just been playing behind the chains. It's like trying to wrestle underwater is what it is.
Yeah, and I'll say they've come at the worst times for the Rams. Really, we've seen the flags get thrown at just the worst plays, right? That's just how the cookie crumbles, and the Rams just find a positive play. We've seen a couple first down plays get called back. We've seen a kick return that went pretty far get called back. So really, if the Rams can clean that up, that'll make for a much better second half.
We're going to take a break here in the Longfellow Excavating halftime report. When we return, we'll do second half adjustments and see what these squads need to do better here in the second half of football from Washington High School. We'll return after this.
People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the people place. Keeping that reputation is a priority in the community and with every customer that comes through the door. Larry Green Chevrolet, we're better and we'll prove it. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, you'll find our selection extensive and the sales team professional and courteous. Visit Larry Green Chevrolet just off Highway 260 next to Walmart or LarryGreenChevrolet.com.
Yavapai College has many degree and certificate programs to get you on track to a rewarding, well-paying career in a variety of industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, construction, elementary education, and art. Fall semester starts on August 15th, so there's still time to register. Visit us online today at yc.edu/admission to connect with your future career.
Call Rick or Scott Stokes at Sun Country Custom Woodworks about cabinets for every purpose and every budget. Sun Country Custom Woodworks can custom build cabinets for your dream kitchen or bath, adding tremendous value to your home. Organize the garage and store stuff right with a call to Sun Country. And ask about money-saving options, including modular cabinet choices. You know, your cabinets may not be from this century. For ideas, start at suncountrywoodworks.com.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
Well, the teams are back on the field here as the second half, or I should say the halftime, coming to a close here. Brought to you by Longfellow Excavating. No job too big, too small. In fact, licensed, bonded, and insured. And Longfellow Excavating, family owned and operated with decades of experience. Call our former Marauder, which would be Josh Longfellow, for a free quote. That's 928-300-3792. And this is probably going to be some of the easiest keys to the second half that we've run into here so far during the course of this short season, game number 4 for the Mingus Marauders. But obviously, the number one thing for Washington is to stop the litter on the field.
Right. That's absolutely massive. The penalties have just had them stepping on their own toes all night long. Like you mentioned in the halftime show, 4th and 55 at one point.
Oh,
and that is just, you're not going to be able to get anything done. We've seen a handful of 4th and 20s, a handful of them. I mean, more than 2.
Right.
So it's really making for a tough night for the Rams. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously it's clean up the litter.
Yep.
Stop the flags out there because for the keys for the Marauders, I don't even know what to say because they haven't really been tested, right? They haven't had more than a 45-yard field, and I'm giving them some yards there, really. So we'll see what the Marauders can do. The adjustments for the Rams have got to be just to clean it up.
Well, Mingus is going to get the ball first, and so you would think that they were going to start on their own side of the field and have to put together a drive here. I would like to see the ball. I'd like to see the Mingus Marauders get to passing the ball here a little bit. to be able to not make this just a one-sided offensive game for themselves. See if they can work on some of their pass plays here a little bit and get the ball up in the air. As far as the Rams are concerned, leave the ball on the ground. Quit trying to get to the outside, run the ball, get your quick hitters. They have been most successful on 4 and 5 yard runs, mostly up the middle or off tackle, but quick stuff. Get out of the backfield quickly and get positive yards, start to string together some first downs and see if you can get a drive together.
Yeah, you put together a great point there, and if they can do that, we've seen some of the bursts up the middle that they've had. They've got some serious speed, so if they can utilize that, and Jackie, I really like your point for the Marauders is to they're going to get the ball here, and most likely it'll be a much longer field than what they've had all night. So it is a good test in itself. I'd like to see the Marauders take it down methodically and get another score. Right, we want to see them add some more points, but this time let's put together a drive.
Exactly.
We have not had to do that, so this will be a good chance for the Marauders to do that.
Mingus is very accustomed to putting together. Mingus is going to kick off. How about that? Mingus is going to kick off here to start the second half. I believe that Mingus deferred and kicked off to start the game.
Oh, no, we had Bruland and Camacho.
We did.
Returning. Bruland and Camacho. How could we forget that? Bruland and Camacho back there.
So you say. And we punted on that drive. That was the first drive of the game.
I think we forgot because it was so fast.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was a 3 and out. Here we go. Camacho puts his leg into it, drives it deep, and we are underway. The ball bounces at about the 4 yard line, and he hands the ball off to Duran. Duran comes around to the near side, finds his way inside, and then will cut across the other side, and is now going for the other sideline, trying to outrace everybody. Down the sideline, finally Camacho gets him and knocks him out of bounds hard, but in Mingus Marauder territory. He came all the way to the near sideline and then literally changed directions and went the other way. Holy cow, that is an awful lot of running. He ran about 240 yards to get 60.
How about the speed from Duran? That's the third time tonight we've seen him reverse field, and he does such a good job of it. Marauders scrambling to get him, and thankfully they do, but the Rams give themselves great field position to start the second half.
They will start on the Mingus Marauder side of the field at the 45, and that's got to feel good for the guys in purple coming out. And they're going to go to a spread formation. Kuhn will have 2 backs in the backfield, 2 speed demons behind him. And we'll see what the plan is here for the Washington Rams. Kuhn under center, looks to take the snap. He does, hands it off, second back, and up the middle, quick hitter. And that is going to go for almost no gain, gets pushed back very immediately by the Mingus Marauders. And had a Marauder down here for a moment. I think that was Juniel that was the second back that got it.
Yeah, that's big Nick Choate. Was down on his back, and I'm sure he was at the bottom of that pile, probably created it.
No gain on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 from the Mingus Marauder 45. Perhaps he got inches out of it, perhaps he did not. Offset I now, which has been a little bit more successful here for the Washington Rams. Washington looking to take the snap, taking their time at the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get everybody set. Back to football we go. It's going to be the quarterback keeper. Glassman gets a hold of him and throws him. Helicopter moves, but somehow Kuhn stays on his feet and unfortunately will lose yardage out there for the Washington Rams. He'll lose about 5. That'll go a tackle for loss. Glassman's already got 2 sacks. Now he gets his 3rd. How about that?
I'm almost certain Glassman's going to whip him around right here. You can see the replay and then get up and make the tackle again. How about that?
That's how you actually deserve the sack at that point, don't you?
That's hard work right there. And good athleticism there by Kuhn to stay on his feet, but Glassman able to catch right back up to him.
Well, it may be hard work, but it's good work if you can find it. 3rd sack out there by Glassman. Snap taken. And they will follow the near sideline and stepping out of bounds out there, I think. See where they're going to mark him. They're going to mark him for a gain of 1, so that's going to bring up a 4th down at about the 44-yard line of the Mingus Marauders, and out comes the plagued punt unit out here for Washington.
And we'll see the Marauders ready for anything here. This is the best positionally fourth down Washington's had.
There's a snap, high snap. It's brought down. The kick is up. It's going to be short. Coming up to try to get it are the Mingus Marauders. It's going to be Camacho. Comes to the near side and then falls down. But he will bring the ball back almost to the original line of scrimmage out there. So Mingus will have a longer field, but still in football terms, a relatively good field position out at about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, what a great camera angle there. Sheila on the field, able to get Camacho's catch. And man, he does just such a nice job. It's so nice to have him back. Such a good job of catching that, playing it safe, and still making a great play, getting upfield, getting Marauders some good yards.
One receiver to the near side. Mingus stacks the short side of the field. Durkalek under center. Looks to take the snap. Takes his time. Still waiting. Puts a man in motion. There's the snap, and the handoff is going to get eaten up at the line of scrimmage very quickly. As the Washington Ram defense collapses on Arnaudo after a gain of 1.
Yeah, that's kind of been the Marauders' bread and butter there, so Washington does a good job of shutting that down. Marauders still end up getting 1 on the play. Mackay does a good job of fighting for that. That was a lot of work for just a yard.
Dixon comes in with the play, has to run all the way across the field as the near side, near hash mark is the point of the placement of the ball. So short side of the field is near side of the field if you are watching us on Verde Valley TV YouTube. Durkalek has a man in motion. There's the snap. Fakes it. Goes to the far side of the field. Throws the ball. Has a man. Had Joan downfield and couldn't quite get it to him at the sticks. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Mingus Marauders.
And Durkalek wants that one back too, Jackie. He scrambled out, and I think he had another second to take his time and plant his foot a little bit more because he just couldn't get much into that throw. That was way short for Jones.
8:53 left to go. If you're just joining us, it is third quarter action. The Mingus Marauders in control of the Washington Rams, 27-0 here. Mingus with the ball, their first drive of the second half. Wing formation once again for the Marauders. Durkalek under center. Takes the snap and will fake the handoff. Looks to throw. Has the ball downfield and it gets to Contreras with the reception. He'll get a first down and so much more. As holy goodness gracious. Contreras is going to pick up 30 yards and a little bit more on the play. Give him 33 yards on the reception out there. First reception for the Mingus Marauders goes big play, but Mingus has been behind the defense, has been behind the secondary several times. They just haven't been able to get the ball to him.
Yeah, and finally Durkalek able to heave it right over the top. And Contreras waiting there, and we've seen that over the last couple of games too, Jackie. Durkalek and Contreras will build some more chemistry. It can be a dangerous duo.
In fact, he could have thrown the ball further downfield, and Contreras might have gone for a touchdown on that one. But nonetheless, here's the snap. Brulin off tackle, near side, racing, gets a block, gets to the outside, inside the 20, down to the 15, and then pushed out of bounds. And that should be enough for Mingus Marauder first down.
And it will be, and that's a great run by Brulin, getting to the edge and showing his shifty moves out there. It's a really nice job. It's a good run, young man, and get your team the first down. Marauders continue to drive.
Goes off with helmet in hand, so I don't know if he's got to go get an equipment check. So he'll get the ball down to the 15-yard line. So Mingus inside the Washington red zone once again.
Gentlemen, do you mind if we turn the lights back on?
And starting with the Marauders, really good drive, Jackie. This has been a good test drive, right? They got the ball back in their zone, and now they're in the red zone.
Pitch near side, and it's on the ground, and it might be Washington ball out here, and they're going to give it Washington ball. The pitch was dropped on the near side, and Mingus will turn the ball over. The intended pitch man is going to be Senna.
I spoke too soon. I spoke much too soon on how good of a drive the Marauders are putting together, and I just couldn't connect on the pitch here, and the Rams come up with it.
Unfortunately, it goes a fumble lost for the Mingus Marauders.
Wayne, if you're the Rams, it's got to give your offense a lot of momentum here. You got nothing to lose. You don't have any points on the board yet, so it's time to put something together.
Bunch formation to the near side, empty backfield. Kuhn is going to be in shotgun by himself. The lone purple shirt back there takes the snap. Ooh, here comes the blitz. Throws it downfield. Camacho picks it off at about the 35-yard line, heading toward the end zone, toward the far side of the field. Around the corner, gets a block. If there's no litter on the field, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, and you see Lathan there giving some love to Sese after he took him down hard, and boy, how nice is it to have Camacho back to the house.
Had to get rid of it, hurried, and undercutting it is going to be Camacho. The intended receiver was Duran, and he'll get about a 32-yard touchdown return for the Mingus Marauders. Now, Mingus goes from no defensive points to 12 defensive points in one game here.
Yeah, I love to see it, and that's going to give them such good confidence going into region play here in a couple games.
Set for the extra point are the Mingus Marauders. The kick is up. It looks good. It is good. Mingus takes a 34-0 lead over the Washington Rams. We will take a break and come back for the kickoff after this.
30 years, Roxu screen printers have provided Northern Arizona with clean, crisp, quality screen printing. They work with you to make the right choices in creating the right artwork and message to put forth your best image. Choose from brand name products and even fashion-forward designs, including caps, tees, sweatshirts, polos, and jackets. Make Roxu your choice for work and sports uniforms, workwear, resort wear, and more. Find out more at rokzootees.com. Roxu screen printers in Cottonwood, where clothing comes to rock. For 30 years, Roxu screen.
Back here at Washington High School, Mingus in control, 34-0. Camacho, who just did the INT return for a touchdown of 32 yards, will now kick off again to the men in blue. 7:19 left to go, quarter number 3.
I wonder if, like we talked about in the half-game show, Jackie, if maybe Latham went to the cornerbacks and said, hey, I scored, now you guys got to score, and there it was.
Well, Camacho cut it off. It was well covered, and it's going to be a pooch kick. It's going to be a ground ball taken at about the 15-yard line, and unfortunately, going down to a knee to pick it up was Orion Reese, and they're going to mark him down right where he was at the 15-yard line. So he went down and stopped the ball, but unfortunately put his knee down in doing so. In high school football, that means you're down.
Yeah, and that's just an unfortunate special teams there for the Rams. The Marauders have a great opportunity to continue winning the field position battle.
Mingus has not given up a first down here in the second half. We've had 5 plays here from Washington. 7:17 left to go, quarter number 3. They're going to bring it out with 2 backs in the backfield and 3 receivers. Duran's going to be in the backfield behind quarterback Kuhn, and they're going to throw to the near side, and it's going to go for positive yardage as Contreras tries to rip the ball out, and it's going to be a pickup out to about the 21-yard line. They're going to give him 7 on it, actually. On the reception is going to be Brown.
And that's just a nice job by the receiver Brown. Continue fighting upfield, and if you're Contreras, you young cornerbacks out there, that's a good time to try to strip it. You have a couple other Marauders helping you on the tackle, but the main focus is to get the defender down.
Very true. However, when you've got gang tackling going on, that's when you can start ball hacking out there. Kuhn takes the snap, hands it off, dart up the middle. Mingus bounces it off, and then Latham covers it up, and Latham somehow comes out with the ball. Mingus thinks they have the ball, and we're going to see if they actually call it that way.
looks like maybe they're going to mark him down. The Rams will keep it looks like.
Well, maybe not.
It's going to be a loss of about 5 yards on the play.
All right, Rams are keeping
the ball. But Rams do keep the ball. So it's going to be 3rd and 8.
8 for first down.
You see big Nick Chota out there, and that Marauders defensive line just does such a nice job. They haven't been tested all too much this season so far, but they will.
No doubts, region play is going to be rough for the Mingus Marauders. Quarterback steps back, looks to throw. Latham almost wraps him up. And in chase are the Mingus Marauders. He's going to throw the ball downfield. He throws it out of bounds, and that was probably wise. It'll bring up a 4th down out there as Say Kuhn throws the ball out of bounds. 4th and 8 now for the Washington Rams from their own, 18-yard line.
Yeah, and like you called it, that's a great job by the junior quarterback for the Rams to get to the sidelines and not to force anything. He just kind of throws it out of bounds near one of his receivers.
Contreras is back, stands at the 47, 46, 45-yard line is where he's going to settle. Good snap, drops it, gets it, picks it up, punts it. It's going to be short. It's going to take a bounce, kind of a Washington bounce. It'll settle at about the 41-yard line. And a penalty flag is down on the field. Let's see what that's going to be all about. Now the side judge, line judge, picks it up. And we are going to have an illegal motion against the Washington Rams. However, Mingus is going to go ahead and not accept the penalty. They'll just take the ball at the 41-yard line.
Yep, and an easy field position for the Marauders as they're already in Washington territory. The Marauders offense, a lot of confidence right now. You're definitely not going to see any type of a hurry up. You're going to huddle up, just focus on executing.
So Mingus is 8 points away from a continuous clock here. 5:22 left to go here in quarter number 3. 34-0. Mingus will take over they actually mark it at the 40-yard line. Durkalek is 1 for 4, 33 yards. Downfield 1 pass to Contreras. And they got to move the chains, so they stop. And they're going to move the chains going back to the Mingus Marauder direction. There we go. Spread formation now for Mingus. Quarterback takes the snap. And they're going to blow the play dead with an illegal motion. Somebody jumped quick. And that'll be another penalty against the Mingus Marauders. However, after their 100 penalty performance last week, they are well behind it here at this point. I've tried not to bring it up because I don't want to jinx it. Mingus only has 30 yards of penalties on 4 penalties, but they haven't had the ball very often to actually get penalties. They've still scored 34 points, but have done so on phenomenal field position. Mingus will go back to the spread formation, and looks like they're in the same formation. I wonder if they just called the same play. 1st and 15 from the 45 now. There's the snap. Durkalek takes the snap, has to run, cuts it up underneath, and gets tripped up and gets out of it. He's got a first down and more, down to about the 30-yard line. Give him down to the 29-yard line. That should be enough for a first down, yes?
Yeah, and there is a flag on the play, so let's see what the call is going to be. It's in the vicinity, I guess you could say, maybe holding or a block in the back. I didn't quite see it.
And we got a Mingus Marauder down on the field, the near side of the field. Penalty marker is right at the 35. And I was trying to see if we could get a number for the Mingus Marauder that is down on the field. And hopefully that's not Durkalek.
It could be Durkalek. He did go down a little bit awkward at the end of that run. You're going to get to see it here on your VVTV replay. Just kind of slides down.
Yeah, slides down and comes down on that knee. And they are certainly working on
maybe a shoulder, Jackie. I think maybe he went down a little awkwardly on his shoulder, and
he is getting back up. It is Durkalek, and he is walking off. He is holding. Yep, he's moving that arm around it. That almost looks like the throwing shoulder. Now we're going to have to figure out what the penalty is. Now, if the run went through, then he would have picked up 16 on the run, but we're going to see where they're going to mark the penalty from. And they bring the ball all the way back to the 50-yard line. So the penalty was 5 yards downfield, and so it is now going to be a 1st and 20 for the Mingus Marauders. Durkalek has to go off the field for at least a play, and so we're going to see who Mingus brings out for a replacement quarterback out here. And it looks like it's going to be Camacho who's going to take over command here for the Mingus Marauders. Spread formation. Camacho takes it, throws it to the near side. It's going to be Contreras, and Contreras puts his knee down to catch the ball. It's going to be a completion for Camacho, but negative yards, and it'll be 2nd and 21.
And I'm sure Camacho and Contreras want that one back, and you can see Contreras frustrated there with himself. He knew that he had that knee down. All you young wide receivers, just try to bend down and get that. You don't, in high school football, if your knee is down when you catch that ball, you are going to be down by contact right there.
Well, that's just so you don't, get back up and get walloped.
Right.
They do this to try to reduce the amount of injuries in the high school level. Camacho's still out there. He's going to go under center. He's got 2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers. There's the snap, and Camacho's looking to run it. He's going to change directions, go completely the other direction, throws the ball downfield, and it is intercepted. Washington picks it off as he tried to get downfield to his intended receiver, which would be Camacho. Camacho gets the tackle. However, it's going to be a turnover, and the Washington Rams will get the ball at the 40-yard line.
Great defensive play by the Rams there. The defensive line able to get some penetration and be all after the quarterback, make him throw that ball up, and the Rams come up with a big INT.
Did I hear the announcer actually gave extra credit points for the interception? I think she did. How about that?
That's why I never got any extra credit.
Well, no, you were in the line the whole time.
That's right. Never had the chance.
School's different than from what I remember, I swear. So Washington now has the ball at their own 40-yard line. Want to see if Durkalek comes back out for the next stance for the Mingus Marauders. A bad snap, and falling forward and falling on the ball, I think, is going to be the Washington Rams. They're going to give them the ball back. It'll be 2nd and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Actually, they're going to lose a yard on it.
Marauders do just a good job, that defensive line, all night long, just cramming up the middle.
2 backs in the backfield out here for Washington. Washington looking to the near sideline, waiting on the play, checking the wrists. Everybody gets a number or a name. Mingus comes out defensively. 10 men within the line of scrimmage. Quarterback puts 1 man in motion. There is the snap. They're going to hand it. It's going to be going the opposite direction, and a Mingus Marauder breaks through and makes the tackle out there, and that's going to be Latham again, who's having a phenomenal defensive game. Another tackle for loss.
And Latham taking a page out of Glassman's book with the helicopter tackle there. We've seen that quite a few times tonight. That's pretty good hand strength right there, I'll tell you that. Usually running backs and wide receivers can break out of that, but Latham does a good job making sure he goes down.
Well, I know when I start spinning around and I don't know which way is up, it's hard to get your footing to get out of that. 3rd and a long 13 now. Washington with the ball at their own 38-yard line, 37-yard line. Out of the shotgun, man in motion. There's the snap, and we're going to blow the play dead as the near line judge will call a procedure call against Washington. Washington now 7 penalties. They have racked up 7 penalties for 65 yards out here today. That's going to make it a more difficult 3rd down attempt.
Yeah, really difficult 3rd down, and Washington's found themselves in this situation multiple times tonight. Makes it real tough on your offense.
upside down and behind the sticks. Everybody checks their wrist for that 3rd and 18 play. 1:40 left to go, quarter number 3. Mingus on top, 34-0 over the Washington Rams on the road. 3 receivers to the near side. Quarterback takes the snap, looks to throw, and gets hit as he throws, and Glassman gets a hold of him, and Kuhn is down and slow to get back up. He got hit in the back hard as he threw the ball. And Glassman immediately got out of there, and we're going to get a timeout on the field here. It's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're going, Kuhn has not gotten back up. He is still face down out there on the field. And he is hurting, and hopefully that young man's going to be able to bounce up and get up and walk off the field. He's going to get a moment here as it's going to be a punting situation, so that'll certainly help.
And he's up.
Yeah, and he's up, and he's coming off the field with his own power. That's great to see. And boy, like you called it, Glassman with just a great rush off the edge.
Their backup quarterback is not going to be available until tomorrow. So hopefully Kuhn can stay out there for the Washington Rams and complete this game. They're going to get the clock rolling once again. 1:26 left to go here in quarter number 3. And we're set up for a punt. Clock starts. Contreras is back, and he'll move up to the 40-yard line. A low punt partially blocked out there by the Mingus Marauders. It'll be picked up by Glassman. Glassman wrestles his way, but out of bounds. And Mingus will start at the 25-yard line here of the Washington Rams. I didn't get to see who actually blocked that one.
No, I didn't either. But how about Glassman picking up the blocked, partially blocked punt and finding some more yardage? Man, he'll scrounge for any yardage he can find.
Yeah, he wants to be in the backfield again. All right, important for the Mingus Marauders is to see who comes out to play quarterback for Mingus. And it's going to be Camacho out there again for the Marauders, which has us concerned. Now, Mingus has a bye week next week, which means that Dirkelek will have a little bit of time to kind of heal out there. We have a timeout on the field. Washington takes a timeout. We're going to take a break with them. We'll return to the home of the Rams. Mingus on top, 34-0 after this.
Call Rick or Scott Stokes at Sun Country Custom Woodworks about cabinets for every purpose and every budget. Sun Country Custom Woodworks can custom build cabinets for your dream kitchen or bath, adding tremendous value to your home. Organize the garage and store stuff right with a call to Sun Country. And ask about money-saving options, including modular cabinet choices. You know, your cabinets may not be from this century. For ideas, start at suncountrywoodworks.com. Call Rick or Scott.
So the story for the Mingus Marauders, of course, is Dirkelek with his helmet off on the far side of the field out there. And I wonder if his night is going to be complete. Obviously, a 34-0 lead. So even if he's just banged up a little bit, you certainly don't need him back out here for this game with 1:08 left to go in quarter number 3. Camacho will take over duties for the Mingus Marauders. And we start with a penalty.
And there's a penalty.
Funny enough, you see Contreras on the near side towards us here in the box, and he kind of waves his hand up like, all right, what is it now?
Camacho's walking off the field, and Dirkelek's going to come back out on the field, and they are going to wave off the flag. So apparently the referees did not want Camacho to take the snap, and they waited for Dirkelek to come back out there, but it's nice to see Dirkelek is out there. And he takes the snap and hands it off, and there goes Arnaudo. Arnaudo streaking his way through, breaking through tackles and into the end zone for a touchdown. Tackled very deep in the end zone, but that is going to be a one-play touchdown for the Mingus Marauders. 25-yard scamper out there by the Mingus Marauders. That makes the score 40-0.
Chest bump city for the Marauders in the end zone, and well-deserved. Makai Arnuato does a great job of scampering the end zone, and you can see him right at the end of that play. Jackie, it's more like a trip. He kind of tripped, and Makai tripped over the defender in the back of the end zone there, so no malintent at all. The Marauders find themselves with an even bigger lead, going up 40-0 with the extra point coming up.
1 minute left to go in the third quarter. And Mingus goes to the sideline to huddle up, and now they've got to hurry to get back out here. Not exactly sure what they're doing, but they're going to kind of have to hustle if they're going to want to try this extra point attempt. Hernandez is getting set up. He'll take his steps back. Durkalek is out there. We're short yeah, that's going to throw the flags. We were short an entire offensive lineman with a gigantic hole in the offensive line, and he was still running onto the field, and they snapped the ball. I'm going to say that that's going to be an illegal procedure.
yeah, because that could have turned into quite a trick play, right? You got somebody running on the field way late, and the Marauders, maybe making some substitutions at this time, but no excuse. You got to have your guys lined up out there.
I said line number 2. Oh, I didn't hear that, Coach. All right, so this is going to make it a more difficult extra point attempt as they're going to move it back 5 yards. So the line of scrimmage is going to become the 7-yard line. They're going to kick from the 15, which makes the extra point a 25-yard field goal attempt, so to speak, but only worth one. There's a snap, good snap. Hold is down, the kick is up, looks good, and it is good. And Hernandez puts it through with the extra point, but he starts to limp off the field after that. So Mingus on top, 41-0. 1 minute left to go in quarter number 3. Kickoff coming up right after this.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Tandy, owners of Taylor Waste.
We're homegrown in the Verde Valley and nearly your last local choice.
We want to be your first choice for residential and small business garbage service.
Get a free month service when you make the switch to Taylor Waste.
And enjoy monthly service as low as $16 per month.
Visit TaylorWaste.com for more information.
Or to start service, call Taylor Waste at 649-2662.
Taylor Waste, service tailored to your needs.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle. Get Gettles and go Marauders.
Back here at Washington High School, the Mingus Marauders try an onside kick for some reason, and Washington does cover it. And covering it for Washington was going to be Alamar Sala, and they'll get great field position at their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, not quite sure if that was on the kicker there, Jackie, or what that was, but Marauders unsuccessful on the onside attempt. You see a few substitutions there for the defensive line. You see Glassman run off, and some new names and numbers in there. It's so great to see these guys stepping right in for the Marauders.
Starting to sprinkle out here at Washington High School. You can hear the wind starting to kick up here. And it is definitely a little windy here tonight. There's going to be the snap. Kuhn takes the snap. Glad to see him back out there. A run up the middle is going to get a little, not a bunch, but still a little for the Rams. On the tackle is going to be Cannon Hyatt. And give him about 1 on the run.
And that's the Rams just looking for positive yardage here. I know it's only 1, but you got to start somewhere. That Marauders defense has just been so stingy all night long. And they're another gang tackle there by the Marauders. You see in your replay there. It's Great job defensively, flying to the ball.
I apologize. Marcos Hernandez ran that last play as quarterback. And it looks like Kuhn is coming back in to play quarterback. So both quarterbacks have taken a little break. Kuhn takes a snap, loses it, and a pile right at the line of scrimmage. And it'll lose a yard, but the original line of scrimmage now becomes 3rd and 10 from the Washington 46-yard line. That's going to be the end of the third quarter here. 3 in the books, 4:48 around the corner. Mingus 41, Washington Rams 0. We're going to take a break. We'll come back for the fourth quarter after this.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Tandy, owners of Taylor Waste.
We're homegrown in the Verde Valley and nearly your last local choice.
We want to be your first choice for residential and small business garbage service.
Get a free month service when you make the switch to Taylor Waste.
And enjoy monthly service as low as $16 per month.
Visit TaylorWaste.com for more information.
Or to start service, call Taylor Waste at 649-2662.
Taylor Waste, service tailored to your needs.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle.
Back here at Washington High School, and that is going to end up being a sack, a fumbled play, and looks like Jones is going to get the sack out here as the rain begins to fall here at Washington High School. I thought we had like less than a 20% chance of rain, and it looks like, well, we're going against the odds, are we not?
It's a good old microburst here in Phoenix, and it is really pouring out there right now, and Marauders defense has got to be loving it.
You don't want to get wet.
All right. Looks like the crowd is running for cover out here. And another punt attempt for the Washington Rams. Good snap this time. Good punt, a high punt. And Machado back for the punt. He's just going to let it roll. It's going to take a Mingus Marauder bounce, and it'll be down at about the 42-yard line for the Mingus Marauders. Downing it is going to be Langford for the Washington Rams.
And I'll tell you, this is going to be a great test for the Marauders right here. I know they got a hefty lead, but you know what? It is pouring right now out there. Not sure how long it's going to last, but at least the Marauders offense is going to get an opportunity to practice here in some rain.
The Chicago Bears Mud Bowl.
Right.
Is that what this is?
Right.
1st and 10 from the Mingus Marauder 42. They go to a wing formation. Machado in motion, and it is going to be the second back, Brulin, near side. Fooled a lot of people. Out came the litter. There is a flag on the field. Just go down, young man. He would have gotten a first down. However, they're going to throw the flag near the line of scrimmage, close to the line of scrimmage. And we are going to get a hold against the Mingus Marauders.
And I think they're going to get Leckington on that one. And if I saw correctly, Leckington kind of sealed the hole open for Brulin, but just got to let go of the numbers just a second sooner, Jackie. He held on just a little bit too long, and flag comes out, and the Marauders moving back.
So that is going to make it 1st and 19 from the 33-yard line for the Mingus Marauders. That'll give them more geography. 2 receivers to the top side for Mingus. Quarterback in shotgun. Durkalek takes the snap, comes to the near side of the field, throws the ball, has it downfield, and it is picked off by the Washington Rams. Underthrew it, and coming down with the pick is going to be number 24. That is going to be Alamar Salha for the Washington Rams, and somebody's getting extra credit points in the class again.
Yeah, in the rain too, gotta love it. I mean, it looks like it softened up a little bit, but Dirkolek in the rain throws the INT, and Washington gets the ball back and a chance to start this fourth quarter out on a positive note.
10:33 left to go in this one here at Washington High School. And Washington still trying to figure out how to put their chemistry together. They've got 14 points on the season so far, shut out here tonight by the Mingus Marauders, and you can tell the rain is still coming down and relatively hard out there. So Washington puts 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom, and a tight end. Actually, 3 receivers. There's the snap. Ball hits the ground, picks it back up, and trying to make something out of nothing, getting around the corner, positive yards, and then taken down with a short gain with maybe 2 is going to be Hernandez out there, number 6 for the Washington Rams.
Yep, that's a nice job at making a little something out of what could have been just terrible there. Showcasing some more speed.
Looks like Dixon got in on part of the tackle out there.
And that Marauders defense playing in the rain out there.
And they're going to give him absolutely no gain on the play. There's a lot of run for nothing. Offset eye now. Quarterback under center. Looking to take the snap. Does take the snap. Hands it off. Second back through. Choke gets a hold of him. He pushes forward and then Choke falls on him. But he'll pick up 3 or 4 on the play.
That was a run straight up the middle. Looks like he got about 3 yards.
Nice job by the Marauders. Gang tackling again.
It's going to be Reese on the run. So Reese picks up another carry. He's got 4 of them that have gone for positive yards. They're only going to give him 1, so they... No, there you go. That's what I thought. Going to give him 3.
And the center gives him another inch. I love that. I used to pull that move myself.
Don't make me watch film. 2 men in the backfield. Actually, quarterback is in shotgun. He's going to move Duran to the near side of the field. 2 receivers either side. Now they're going to make him run. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off. And the ball is down on the turf, and it's going to be covered by the Mingus Marauders. And coming up with it is going to be number 61 for Mingus. And that's going to be a fumble recovery as Mingus gets the ball back. They called it an incomplete pass, though. How about that? Eduardo Santiago came up with the would-be fumble recovery, but it was a pitch forward. He actually did throw it, throw it forward. So that is actually a good call out there. So an incomplete pass on the field, and another punt coming up for the Washington Rams. 8:40 left to go. Mingus looking to get the ball once again, and Mingus is going to call timeout.
And we have a timeout.
With their timeout, we're going to take a 30-second timeout as well. We will return for the fourth quarter action here at Washington High School after this.
Yavapai College has many degree and certificate programs to get you on track to a rewarding, well-paying career in a variety of industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, construction, elementary education, and art. Fall semester starts on August 15th, so there's still time to register. Visit us online today at yc.edu/admission to connect with your future career.
And back here at Washington High School, 8:40 left to go. Mingus on top, 41-0, in control, and looking to get the ball back. Ball's at the 41-yard line of the Washington Rams. They set up in punt formation once again. Mingus has 1 blocked punt, 2 bad snaps, and a defensive touchdown off of punts. And there is it, and it's going to be taken by the up man, trying to find a way around, and he might have the first down.
I think he got it. I think he got there, and special teams for the Rams totally turning it around in the fourth with the fake punt, and it looks like they're giving them the first down, and Rams continue the drive here in the fourth quarter.
Dominic Bradley picks up the first down. That's his first touch of the game so far.
Oh, Dominic showing some speed out there. Very deceptive special teams play by the Rams.
How about that?
And they'll huddle up and they'll talk about the next few plays here. I'm sure they're going to get a couple lined up and ready to go.
So at the 49-yard line now, the Washington Rams keep control of the ball. 8:04 left to go. In the backfield is going to be Reese. Kuhn is the quarterback. He'll go out of shotgun, take the snap, hand it off to Reese. Reese is coming near side, has plenty of blockers out in front of him. Picks up good yardage before he's finally taken down, and give him a good solid 8 on the run.
Yep, that's a great run. Good execution there by Washington.
Looks like Hyatt in on the tackle again.
6 yards.
Yep, it's great to see the Marauders getting their younger players some experience here. That depth chart's not too big for the Marauders, so they'll take the break.
Mingus says wholesale changes out there on the field. Number 74 coming in. Hey, that's the big one. That's Navarez. Jose Navarez wearing number 74 has come on as a defensive tackle for the Mingus Marauders. 2 receivers top, actually 3 receivers top. 2 men in the backfield, and quarterback's going to sneak it, and will get hit immediately. But we saw that play earlier. On the tackle is going to be Micah Allen for the Mingus Marauders, but that might be enough for a first down out there.
Yeah, and it will be, and it just makes me wonder why that didn't count earlier when they did that, because that was about the same play where the center and quarterback were the only ones who went, and this time it's a first down Rams.
Coming in the game for the Mingus Marauders is number 21, Tanner Bejarano. Comes out there for the Mingus Marauders. He'll line up on the defensive line. And Washington switches players around. They're going to go to 3 men in the backfield. They'll bring their tight end to the near side. Quarterback takes the snap. Oh, and it's a bad snap once again. Man. They keep sitting on the self-destruct button out there. It's going to be a loss of another 5 yards. They have had snap trouble all evening, really.
Yeah, the only positive takeaway with that, too, is that this is Washington's 3rd game, right? So the more games you play, the more you'll clean up your penalties, and the more you'll get all those technicalities down.
Now, that's the beginning of the offense right there, is the snap. They got to work on that one, I can tell you.
And a no rush here, and they're just really focused about executing right now.
Well, and I think they should be. Hernandez will be in the... Actually, no, that is going to be Kuhn back there in the quarterback position. He takes the snap, high snap, brings it down, throws the ball, gets it out to the tight end, immediately tackled out there. Good tackle on the play for the Mingus Marauders, which is going to be number 34, Anthony De La Torre. It's going to be positive yardage, but not enough. Get the ball out to number 87. And it'll bring up a 3rd and short, maybe 3rd and 3.
No, that's a little bit longer.
So only 2 yards on the pass play then. Out to the tight end, his first reception. That's going to be Langford, who gets his first reception of the game. 3rd and a long 3, maybe 4. Quarterback goes up under center, takes the snap, and looks to hand it off. No, he'll run it himself. Coming to the near side, he'll get the first down and get out of bounds. Tackled out there somewhere around the 45-yard line, and a late flag comes in. Wallowitz in on the tackle.
And you always got to keep your composure. Not sure if that might have been a late hit out of bounds. And we get a good look at the replay here.
Oh, extra push.
And it was just a slight, ever so slight push.
Okay, the run went out to the 35-yard line. And it's going to come back.
And for all you young players, you got to be careful, because that wasn't, a deliberate or malicious push at all, but just that one little shove after the play can draw that penalty. And boy, we've seen the penalties for Washington all night long, and they continue to do so. The Rams had a successful fake punt on this drive too, Jackie, and it's now coming almost all the way back to where that was.
So I believe it's supposed to be third down with the penalty. The down marker says fourth. And it'll be third and about 21 yards now.
20 yards.
Ouch.
One man in the backfield. And I'm having trouble to tell if that is 6 or 8 out there at quarterback. It is 6. Okay, perfect. It is Hernandez. 6 and 8 at my age look a lot alike. One man in the backfield, 2 receivers either side, takes the snap, tries to get around the corner, does, and tries to pick up good yardage. Gets back into a 4th and manageable, maybe close to 4th and 10, as he'll get about, give him about 7 or 8 yards back.
Yeah, you like to see the hustle there by that defensive line stepping in. Man, these are some of the younger guys filling up some spots and the starters a little bit of rest, which is just so crucial. Like we talked about, we're going into a bye week. Region play is creeping up really fast.
Now, and that's interesting. They must have called the penalty after the play, and that's why it was indeed 4th down. So that was a 4th down attempt. So Mingus does take over on downs here. I thought the penalty happened in the play, which meant that I thought the down marker should have been 3rd down, but it was legitimately 4th down. So 3:43 left to go. Mingus will get the ball back at their own 43-yard line. Could be the final drive of the game if Mingus can control the ball, run the clock, win the game. Brulin cuts the ball back up the middle, finds a little bit of running room, and then breaks it outside. He's at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, and a long touchdown by Brulin. He got caught up in the whole mess and then played pinball and able to get out of it and picks up the touchdown, making it 47-0.
Oh, get yourself some Gatorade, Brulin. That's such a great run. You see the replay here. Great shot by Sheila on the ground. You see Brulin just, yeah, you're right, just pinball around. He bounces off a Ram and then goes to the outside, and I don't think the Rams saw him get to the outside, and by that time, he's real fast. He was gone.
Puts him over 100 yards on the game, 103 yards for Brulin in this one with a 57-yard touchdown scamper for the Mingus Marauders. 3:30 left to go, and this time they actually get the offensive lineman out there before they take the snap. There's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. That'll make it 48-0, and we should be into continuous clock here for the remainder of the 3:30 left to go in this one. We'll take a break from Washington High School. We're back after this.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
48-0. The Mingus Marauders in control of this one. This will be the 3rd victory versus Copper Sky teams here in the 2022 young season. Mingus looking to roll on to 3-1 and then a bye week. A bye week next week. Mingus will not play next week. So a bye week next week, and when we still need to talk about the positives and negatives of bye weeks.
Yeah, right. A couple different perceptions for bye week. A little bit of time to rest or get out of shape a little bit.
Camacho will kick it off. It'll come down to about the 14-yard line. And Duran cuts to the outside. Makes his way to the sideline and gets out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. Not happy with it. However, I thought that was a wise choice to get out of bounds. He had really nowhere to go. He was contained. But, talking about the bye week, We have seen teams that have taken that opportunity, that have fixed things offensively and fixed things defensively, and they have used that extra time to study film for their next opponent or the next two opponents, which I think is wonderful things to do. We have also seen bye weeks come, especially when they coincide with weeks off of school, and then all of a sudden teams get out of shape. They forget plays. It's like everything just disappeared.
Right.
And, they start week one again with the same kind of mistakes. And man, that is not the kind of bye week that you need to have.
No, and Coach Montebias will be all over that, I'm sure. And they'll make sure that they continue to be fine-tuned. And the Marauders, such a great point you're bringing up, because the Marauders have played just, I'm going to call the fourth quarter against Independence a phenomenal fourth quarter. And so far tonight, it's looking like 4 quarters of great football as well. So after 5 great quarters of football, you're going to go into a bye week and get to look at some film, tweak some things that you don't like, and come back even better.
Well, here's one. The Mingus Marauders called timeout because they couldn't figure out which 11 were supposed to be on the field at this point. And so they're going to take the timeout and talk about it. We had 1 trying to get off the field and 2 trying to get on the field, and so that was a miscommunication. But quite a few different numbers out there for the Mingus Marauders, and some of them I don't entirely recognize. I see Wallowitz turning around and playing some defense, and we want to talk. We want to say hello to Wallowitz's grandfather, who lives over on the other side of the hill in the Prescott area, that has found our YouTube channel and gets to watch his grandson play football out here through Verde Valley TV. You can always watch on demand for the Mingus Marauders, or here on KYBC AM 1600. Handoff cutting up the middle, and a flag comes out, and a good hard run up the middle. It should go for about 4 yards if it stands, but it doesn't look like it's going to. We have an illegal shift against the woeful Washington Rams out there, who is now on penalty number 9 for 85 yards. 1:34 left to go, continuous clock, so they're going to do the 5-yard penalty, and the clock will continue to roll out here. Mingus leading 48-0.
Yeah, the score's a little bit deceiving, right? Because Marauders don't have the most yardage. I mean, we'll talk about it in the post-game show, but I mean, their scores have come fairly easy tonight.
There's the snap. They hand it off, coming up the middle, breaking out, and Camacho comes up to the safety position and puts a hit on Reese. Reese gets a decent gain. He'll get the 5, maybe even 6 yards on that. 54 seconds left to go in the game. Reese will line up in the backfield once again. Washington taking their time. Hernandez at quarterback coming back out. He's got 2 running backs to either side. Now he goes over center. 32 seconds left to go in the game. Takes his time still. Looking to take the snap. And does, finally. There's the handoff. And running up the middle. Had a lead block. Able to pull forward for about 2 is going to be Reese once again. 12 seconds left to go. And I'm not sure that Washington's going to get another playoff here. And Mingus is definitely going to win this one. 3-2, Washington walking off the field, and Mingus victorious on the road for the second time, as they are, 3 Copper Sky wins so far, with a victory 48-0 over the Washington Rams on the road. Well, we want to thank our sponsors out here. We're also going to get into the Gettles High Desert Mechanical postgame show coming up right after this.
For 30 years, Roxu screen printers have provided Northern Arizona with clean, crisp, quality screen printing. They work with you to make the right choices in creating the right artwork and message to put forth your best image. Choose from brand name products and even fashion-forward designs, including caps, tees, sweatshirts, polos, and jackets. Make Roxu your choice for work and sports uniforms, workwear, resort wear, and more. Find out more at rokzootees.com. Roxu screen printers in Cottonwood, where clothing comes to rock.
Choose the region's most comprehensive heart program. Choose care close to home. Choose world-class surgeons. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Choose precision. Choose innovation. Choose robotic-assisted knee and hip replacement. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Yavapai College has many degree and certificate programs to get you on track to a rewarding, well-paying career in a variety of industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, construction, elementary education, and art. Fall semester starts on August 15th, so there's still time to register. Visit us online today at yc.edu/admission to connect with your future career.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the people place. Keeping that reputation is a priority in the community and with every customer that comes through the door. Larry Green Chevrolet, we're better and we'll prove it. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, you'll find our selection extensive and the sales team professional and courteous. Visit Larry Green Chevrolet just off Highway 260 next to Walmart or LarryGreenChevrolet.com.
Back here at Washington High School, the Mingus Marauders victorious here tonight, 48-0. It has been all Mingus pretty much all the time here. Offensively, defensively, special teams, 2 defensive scores in the game for the Mingus Marauders, first of the season. Lots of penalties here tonight. It was just a game that did not seem to get into pattern here. Mingus was able to score a lot, but not put up a lot of offensive numbers here this evening. It was a weird game.
It was. And when we go over the yards, you're going to be shocked because of how many points the Marauders have.
Right.
And that's a couple of defensive scores, and well, one of those being special teams, the other one defensively scored. But yeah, a lot of penalties plagued the Rams tonight. Helped the Marauders win the field position battle easily. I mean, hand over fist. Marauders hardly had field to go to get points on the board. So they made it easy. The one drive that we were kind of looking forward to, the Marauders got their ball, and finally their zone with the Rams got a nice punt, and the Marauders drove down the field, and then it ended with a fumble. So the one longer drive that the Marauders had ended with a fumble. Washington got that ball back. So that's not what you want to see from your offense. As great as a game as it was and how many points you put on the board, still got some work to do.
I agree. Mingus started with a 10-yard field. Started at the Washington 10-yard field and ended up with a 14-yard quarterback keeper for the first score. Hernandez got the extra point, and Mingus led 7-0, 3:43 left to go still first quarter. A bad snap goes over the kicker's head, and Lathan covers it up for a TD, and the extra point was good. So that was the first defensive score by the Mingus Marauders. Second quarter, Mingus would score again. Short field, 10-yard field from the Washington Ram 10-yard line because they couldn't get their punt snaps down. And a 10-yard run by Arnado. The extra point was not attempted. The 2-point conversion by Dirkelek, no good. Mingus was leading 20-0. Then 1:17 left to go, a 2-yard drive by Brulin. This was off of a 24-yard drive for the Mingus Marauders. And at halftime, the Mingus Marauders led 27-0. Mingus had held Washington to negative yards in the first half from the line of scrimmage, not counting penalty yards, of which Washington ended up with 85 yards of penalties here tonight. Yes, definitely ouch. Third quarter, Mingus would score again. Another defensive score, a 32-yard interception returned by Camacho with 7:19 left to go. The extra point by Hernandez was good. It was 34-0. Then with exactly a minute left to go, a 25-yard run by Arenado. Mingus, again, a short field, started at the 25-yard line, and the extra point was good. It was 41-0. Then with 3:30 left to go, a 57-yard breakaway by Brulin, and the extra point was good. Mingus got into continuous clock at 48-0. And there's our scoring drives here for the Mingus Marauders in the Gettles High Desert Mechanical post-game show. And obviously, all Mingus all the time, but we're talking seriously short fields as we go through. We're going to take a quick break here at Washington High School. When we return, individual stats, and we're going to wrap it up for you here on the road, home of the Rams, Washington High School.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Tandy, owners of Taylor Waste.
We're homegrown in the Verde Valley and nearly your last local choice.
We want to be your first choice for residential and small business garbage service.
Get a free month service when you make the switch to Taylor Waste.
And enjoy monthly service as low as $16 per month.
Visit TaylorWaste.com for more information.
Or to start service, call Taylor Waste at 649-2662.
Taylor Waste, service tailored to your needs.
Call Rick or Scott Stokes at Sun Country Custom Woodworks about cabinets for every purpose and every budget. Sun Country Custom Woodworks can custom build cabinets for your dream kitchen or bath, adding tremendous value to your home. Organize the garage and store stuff right with a call to Sun Country. And ask about money-saving options, including modular cabinet choices. You know, your cabinets may not be from this century. For ideas, start at suncountrywoodworks.com.
The right vehicles, the right people, the right price. Make Jones Ford of Verde Valley the right place to buy. Choose from our new in-stock Ford selection or custom order just the way you want it. Buy pre-owned with peace of mind with Jones Ford's lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Plus, drive a little, save a lot. Jones Ford is your tax advantage destination. So, for the right vehicles at the right price, make the right choice. Jones Ford Verde Valley, family owned and operated for over half a century. Just off I-17 in Camp Verde.
Two things we can count on every year:
a new set of tax rules and great weather here in northern Arizona.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, locally owned and operated by Lewis Rice since 1997, is here for you all year long.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Office will help you in all of your taxing situations.
Electronic filing is always free with your tax preparation at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service.
Get more in return. Call 1-800-234-1040 for an office near you.
For 30 years, Roxu screen printers have provided Northern Arizona with clean, crisp, quality screen printing. They work with you to make the right choices in creating the right artwork and message to put forth your best image. Choose from brand name products and even fashion-forward designs, including caps, tees, sweatshirts, polos, and jackets. Make Roxu your choice for work and sports uniforms, workwear, resort wear, and more. Find out more at rokzootees.com. Roxu screen printers in Cottonwood, where clothing comes to rock.
Back here at Washington High School, home of the Rams, the Mingus Marauders victorious 48-0 here. Individual stats: Mingus had 40 yards of penalties on 5 penalties, which is a phenomenal improvement for the Mingus Marauders. 85 yards of penalties on 9 penalties for the Washington Rams, and that did not help them. Durkalek did not have his best throwing game out here today. Only 1 for 4, 33 yards, and threw an interception. And along those same lines, as Camacho took over for a few plays, Camacho ended up 1 for 2, including an interception, and his only completion actually went for negative yardage. But Camacho was kind of thrown into that role. Durkalek did not have very many yards on the ground. He ended up with 18 yards on the ground. Senna had 1 carry, actually a fumble loss. Brulin was the bright spot for the Mingus Marauders. So he ends up with 9 carries, 103 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the game. Arenado, and not so many carries, ends up with 6 carries, 49 yards for the Mingus Marauders. So Mingus scores 48 points. They have 170 yards on the ground, 33 yards in the air, 203 yards of offense from the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And Mingus scores 48 points. You would have thought that would have been 500 yards.
Yeah, exactly. That's, 200-something points or 200-something yards. That's, you're thinking the game is a couple scores, within 1 or 2 scores, really. That's it. So that's a crazy, and when you went over some of those statistics, that is not going to get the job done when we get to region play, right? The Copper Sky region has been great. Let's call it a warm-up, right, for the Marauders. This Grand Canyon region is a little bit bigger, a little bit badder than the Copper Sky Canyon. Not to dash on Copper Sky, because it's been a great region in the past, and it will have its time again for sure. But right now, the Grand Canyon region's really tough, and the Marauders put up the amount of points that they should have.
They did, but they did it all with short field. Right. Scoring drives from 10 yards, 25 yards, and 57 yards. That one was good, but 2 defensive touchdowns to go along with it. But defensively, Mingus did fantastic. They had, Glassman had 3 sacks by himself. Jones had a sack by himself. The biggest foe for the poor Washington Rams was their snapping game. Yep. And it cost them in the punt game. It cost them offensively. They had bad snaps just about every drive, so they were behind the sticks constantly and just never were able to get caught up and out of it. And nonetheless, they ended up with unofficially 14 yards of total offense from the line of scrimmage for the entire game. They had negative yardage from the line of scrimmage at halftime. So great job by the Mingus Marauders defensively. At the same time, poor Washington just sat on the self-destruct button all game long. Yeah,
they stepped on their toes all night long, and it seemed like any time they had a great offensive play, it got called back. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles, and that's how the penalties were called. And it was very unfortunate for the Rams, and it was only their 3rd game of the season, but I'll tell you, Jackie, that's a lot of cleaning up to do. You really have to fine-tune that. Make sure you're not going to get those holding calls. We saw a couple delayed games, false starts. We even saw a personal foul in there. You got to really clean that stuff up if you're going to find any success. And Washington didn't score any points tonight, and only 14 points total so far in their first 2 games, 0 tonight. So they're going to have to do a much better job of fine-tuning if they want to find success.
Well, next week, of course, Mingus has the bye week. And first and foremost, it was nice to see Durkalek get back out there so he could play. That was a good thing, because he went down and went off the field. That was a little scary. So if Mingus got dinged up at all from tonight's game, they should have the ability to kind of rebound from that. However, want to make sure that we don't forget how to play football in the process. So Mingus will be on the road again in 15 days. So not next Friday, but the following Friday, which will be October 7th, and we will be on the road with you out at Deer Valley to take on the Hawks. And haven't played the Hawks for quite a while, but it's going to be a different level of competition. That'll be a good test for the Mingus Marauders before they go into region play. Will the Mingus Marauders go into region play 4-1, which would be absolutely phenomenal before you start the Grand Canyon region? Or how is that going to work out? We got to close up shop here because they are they're actually closing the campus at 10:30. So we have got to close up shop out here. We want to thank our producer, Zach Kline, our camera crew, Sushila, Kandola, Brian Phillips, and Niko Contreras. And we want to say and bid all of our Mingus Marauder fans out there and all those and those who are not Mingus Marauder fans, a wonderful, fantastic night here from Washington High School.
This has been the Postgame Report, brought to you by Gettles High Desert Mechanical Heating, AC, and Plumbing Specialists, online at GettlesHDM.com.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettles High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle. Get Gettles and go Marauders.
This has been a presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting Sports. Any rebroadcast or use of this broadcast without written permission from Mingus Union High School or Yavapai Broadcasting is expressly prohibited. Mingus Marauder Football is brought to you by Jones Ford Verde Valley, Arizona's best since 1970. State Farm Insurance, Jennifer Griffin. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Taylor Waste, service tailored to your needs. Rock Zoo Screen Printing, where clothing comes to rock. Longfellow Excavating, we dig your ideas. And Northern Arizona Healthcare, improving health, improving people. Your 2022 Mingus Marauder Football is also brought to you by these fine businesses. Reese's Tire and Automotive Tire Pros, 3 generations here to serve you. Larry Green Chevrolet, the people place. All Price Insurance. Call 634-2311 to get your quote. Gettles High Desert Mechanical, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Don't settle, get Gettles. Your neighborhood Rice Accounting and Jackson Hewitt Tax Services. Sun Country Custom Woodworks, serving all of Northern Arizona with commercial and residential custom cabinets. And Yavapai College. You can, we can, together. Tune in for details on the next Mingus Marauders game on Verde Valley TV and KYBC.